Hey everyone, you're listening to the official podcast of 4PlayerNetwork.com. Check us out at that address for everything you need to know about our community, monthly giveaways, and nightly live streams. You can even support us on Patreon at patreon.com/4Player. And last but not least, you can catch the live recordings of these podcasts every single Thursday night on our Twitch channel. We hope to see you there. Enjoy. Yes. Hello, everyone. Welcome to 4Player Podcast, episode 542. It is March 15th, 2000.
The Ides of March,
Yes.
Nick. Julius Caesar died on this day.
Did
by
he?
being stabbed 23 times.
And before the night is out,
By
somebody will
different
die
people?
here.
What a...
Or was it 23 people?
No, it was
just one stab.
Yeah, no, I thought it was more than...
They just formed a line. Ah!
Yeah, pretty much.
What is even happening right now?
The Ides of March, Nick. Beware the Ides of March.
And yesterday was Pie Day.
It was. It was. I definitely know that one.
Did you have a slice of pie?
I did not know.
Let Nick introduce people.
Sorry, Robin loves Pie Day, so I always remember Pie Day, but I did not have any pie. I probably should have. I should have at least had like a pecan pie. Anyway, I'm sorry. We're this is devolving very quickly. Welcome to the show, everybody. This is the official podcast, 4PlayerNetwork.com. We're going to talk about video games here in just a little bit. But I do want to take this moment to remind everybody that we have a community Discord. We'd love everybody to join our Discord. If you're watching us live or if you're listening on the go, whatever, we'd love to have you in the Discord. It's discord.gg/4player. You can hop in there. You can hang out with all of us, hang out with the community, talk about things, video games, movies. I think there's a sports channel in there where you can talk about sports if you'd like. All kinds of conversations happening all the time.
And I'm Nolan.
Oh, have I not introduced everybody? See, this is what happens. This is what happens when y'all derail me right at the beginning. Anyways, I'm Nick. Crispy's here.
Hello!
Nolan's here.
How's it going, everybody?
And Chris Davis is here.
Hello?
I'm so sorry.
It's okay.
I'm so sorry. Anyways, Discord. Back to Discord.
Tell us more about that sports channel, Nick.
I don't know. I've never actually been in the sports channel. I just noticed it the other day.
Someone asked me the other day if I wanted to join. Our work is starting a fantasy baseball league. And I've done fantasy football several times, but I've never done fantasy baseball. And I asked Bernadette if she wanted to run my team for me.
No.
And she said no. So then I told my coworker, no, thank you.
A football season is what, 16 games a team?
Yeah, baseball's a lot more.
Baseball's 160.
Yeah.
What?
Yes.
Man,
10 times as many games.
I really have no idea how sports work. I'm so
So
sorry.
there's a ball.
Okay, I know the very
You know
basics.
about balls.
I know about balls.
He knows how to handle balls.
Unless it's hockey or curling or most of the track and field sports or professional shooting or a lot of
Cricket
Olympic
uses a
sports,
ball,
actually.
right?
There are not that
Yes,
many-
cricket does use
Yeah.
a ball.
I
Anyway.
like ball-based sports.
Highlight, the ball is called a pilote. It's going up to 80 miles an hour. It could kill you.
What is this?
Highlight?
Highlight
I've never heard of that.
Really?
Teach me.
right
Highlight?
now.
It's the one where everybody has those big baskets on their hands and they're like running. It's kind of like racquetball, but quicker, more dangerous, and like kind of Hispanic.
Okay, yes, I know.
Kind of Hispanic.
Wait, what did you just?
Quicker, more dangerous, and Hispanic.
I said,
Wow.
That is how you describe
Kind of
highlight.
Hispanic. Is that what you said? Kind of
yes.
Hispanic?
Okay. Right.
Anyways, sorry. Moving on. Anyways,
It's big in Miami.
if you want more conversations like
Oh my
this, please join our
It's the only
Discord.
place I've ever seen it.
Oh my god. I also want to remind everybody. Oh, Patreon. You can support. Thank you. Patreon. You can support us on Patreon. Patreon.com/4players where you'll find us there. $1 a month gets you the ability to ask us questions on every podcast we record, and you get the podcast a day early with no ads. So we'll be answering questions from our Patreon supporters in the second half.
And if you'd like to help us get to E3 this year, that would be
we
swell way to
appreciate
help.
any and all financial support you can throw our way. It does help us get to places like E3 every single year. Lastly, I want to say we kind of planned this today. Yeah. Nolan and myself, next Friday, not tomorrow, but next Friday.
which is the
23rd.
Thank you. 23rd, March 23rd. We are going to be doing a special couch co-op broadcast of that new game, A Way Out.
Probably sitting on that couch.
Yeah, probably sitting on this exact couch that I'm sitting on right here. Nolan will be right next to me. We're going to be playing A Way Out. That's the game from Hazelights. Is it Hazelight?
That's the game from Fuck the Oscars.
Yeah,
Fuck
Fuck the
EA.
Oscars guy. Yeah, we're gonna. How did
Fuck
you?
the Oscars.
How did you put it in Discord earlier, Nolan? You said, "Nick, would you like to be my prison lover?" Is that?
Yeah.
Nolan and I are gonna be prison
We're going
lovers.
to prison together.
Yeah, it's gonna be great.
We're
So,
gonna be butt buddies.
keep your eye on the calendar. We'll post the official starting time when we have a better idea of what that's gonna be. But point is, Nolan and I will be on the couch together playing a game. Should be pretty fun. These are the guys that made Brothers. Y'all remember Brothers?
Tale of Two
Called
Sons, yeah.
Two Brothers.
Which was a great game. So we'll see how this goes. Anyways, what's been up, guys?
So Nick, I saw a movie, and I don't think it's on your radar, but I think it should be.
I can't tell if this is serious or not. Go ahead.
Burnett and I we were debating. We wanted to see a movie on Monday because she was off work, and our two thoughts were either Annihilation, which we ended up not seeing because I wasn't in the mood, or Game Night.
Oh, I've heard really good things, but I don't know much about it.
It was fucking delightful.
Yeah,
Like I was surprised at how good that movie was.
that's the one
What
with
is this movie?
Jason Bateman
Yes, Jason
and
Bateman.
Rachel McAdams.
Yeah,
It's essentially and Kyle, whatever that guy's name is. He was in what was that show? That was a football show that was here. Friday Night Lights. Main guy from that. Yeah, Prince knows what's up. Game Night is so good, is what Prince says. But yeah, so it's all about like, oh, it's a group of friends that get together for game night all the time. But this game night,
what?
something went awry. Yeah, like board games,
Oh,
charades,
gotcha,
like whatever. And like they're like, oh, it's a murder mystery. I hired some people to come, and they're gonna kidnap one of us, and we have to solve clues to find them.
So they try and turn it into like a real life.
But it turns out like it's a real kidnapping, and it's like what? And there's like guns and car chases, and it's actually fucking hilarious.
That was the one I think we talked about at one point, maybe not on the show, but like people started talking about it, and I was like, I've never even seen a trailer or a poster or anything.
Good. Just
for
go
this
watch
movie.
it. It's surprisingly good for what it is. Like I said, I did not expect it to be as good as it was.
Dude. It's funny because I'm speaking of Jason Bateman. I'm watching Ozark right now, which is like total opposite
The Ozark
kind of character that he normally plays.
How far are you in that?
About 7 or 8 episodes.
It's a pretty good show, huh?
Yeah, it's really good. He is really dark in that show. I was watching an episode the other day at the gym, and then I had to turn it off because there was some pretty
to
graphic
Arrested
sex.
Development,
Huh?
When you compare Ozark to Arrested Development,
Yeah.
very different Jason Batemans.
Yeah, very, very. But it does give him a chance to stretch his acting legs. That's pretty damn good.
God, I wonder if we'll ever get season 5.
They're supposed to, but
Arrested
I'm not
Development?
super excited for it.
I remember
4
Arrested
wasn't
Development
great.
season 4 being kind of a letdown,
It
even
was.
though
I mean, it was bad.
Yeah, don't say let down. It was bad.
Yeah. Like the jokes that were supposed to be like the main
I don't think that's
pickups
true.
were not good.
I think it was a letdown. I don't think it was
All right.
bad.
Well, it's how it was structured. You know, how they were telling each character's story per
Yeah.
episode, and how they slowly interweaved, but they didn't do it in such a way that it was really that good.
I remember watching a lot of the earlier seasons of Arrested Development. I admittedly have not seen the whole show, and then jumping into
3
season
seasons.
5 and being like, this is really weird.
I mean, just
Season 4.
4, that's what I meant.
Yeah.
4.
I mean, just with Jeffrey Tambor and all that, you know. So I don't know if we'll actually even get season 5.
Oh, right.
Yeah.
Wait,
Yeah,
what's up with
about
Jeffrey
that.
Tambor?
He's one of the.
Yeah.
Oh,
He got
really?
He got me too.
He got got.
Yep.
Didn't know
They
that.
found him out.
Yeah.
And now he's
He
done.
got Kevin Spacey.
Yeah.
He's done. Well, I don't think it was.
That bad.
I will
Well,
say.
okay, no, we're
I
not
will
gonna
say
play
in,
that game,
in
but-
season 4 of Arrested Development, one
He
of the
got got.
jokes I did like was Tobias getting his A New Start license plate.
Anus tart.
A New Start.
Oh my god.
That was pretty good. I like that. Anyway, that's all I've been up to.
What
I've
else?
I've been taking care of this little Butters.
How's Butters going?
He's doing pretty good. He did pretty good in his last training session. We don't know. We actually, when we went to go buy him some new food at Tomlinson's, there's a lady there who was telling us about a trainer who actually gives discounts on huskies, and he has 3 huskies that are all like off leash dogs, like they're like really well trained. And so we were potentially maybe gonna go see about hitting him up just to
Sweet.
see how I can get this little anus tart in shape.
I like Butters.
So he'll listen. Yeah, he's fairly good, but then when he sees another dog or a person, he just wants to run at him to play.
No stopping him.
Yeah, so that's what we're trying to. Yeah. Other than that, I haven't been doing too much.
I mean, he's definitely gotten better.
No, he's getting better. Yeah.
For sure.
My roommates and I tried to sneak into the Westworld activation.
Dude, I've read about that. That sounds so fucking cool.
We drove out to Manor and tried to weasel our way in.
For those listening at home who don't know what he's talking about,
they have really good security.
So we're in the middle of South by Southwest here in Austin, which is a big festival. And this year they set up an actual interactive, like, basically they built like
they built the town.
They built the town from Westworld.
That town exists. That like ghost town.
Yeah.
That exists out in Manor. They just repurposed it for Westworld.
Gotcha.
Yeah.
But they essentially made it into a Westworld set, and it's like fully interactive.
There's
and
actors.
They have actors, and you have to go talk to them to find like.
It's a 4-hour loop too.
Yeah.
Like you're there for like 3 or 4 hours doing shit.
And they send you. Don't you have to
There's
go?
like,
you have to talk to NPCs.
Yeah, there's like
go,
NPCs and quests, and you get gold coins for completing quests, and then you can go in the bar and use the gold coins to buy liquor and shit. Yeah. And then like at the end of the sequence, there's like a big showdown out in the street where one dude gets fucking shot. Like, yeah, that's crazy. And then I heard it does some really weird stuff at the end that might be kind of spoilery if you've never seen that show.
Speaking of which, you did finish the show and you're pretty excited about
I did, and it is way better than I thought it was last week. Which I thought it was great last week.
You finished it?
I finished
It's
it.
because that twist. That twist is what
There's
changes.
like 4 twists.
There's
at the
one
end.
particular twist that really hooked me in.
There's 2
It's
right
like,
now. I'm not sure
an
which one you're
episode
talking.
6 twist.
I saw it when it was airing, so I don't remember what
If
episode
it was that one, I mean, if it was like not like the end.
Well, let's not get into
Yeah,
it now,
but that one got spoiled for me like the day before I saw it.
Bummer.
Now, is that like how when
sucked.
you Googled?
No, that was like
okay.
a buddy of mine came over and was hanging out while I was watching it, and he thought I'd already seen it, and he couldn't remember some details, and he was like, "Oh, hey, by the way, like, isn't that?" And I was like,
What the
what?
fuck?
I looked at him, I was like, "What?" And he was just like, "Oh my god!" And I'm like, "You fucking asshole!" Like, it was
You
bad.
murdered him.
Because I did kill him. It was because I intentionally didn't watch Westworld when it came out because I didn't want to do the week-to-week thing, and I wanted to binge the whole thing right before season 2
You're gonna be cool with doing the week-to-week thing when this next season starts.
Yeah, I'm not gonna wait another year and a half now.
Because now that you love it,
Like, yeah,
fucking awesome! I can't wait for that season. Yeah. Anything else before we move on? Get down to business. Get down to brass tacks.
I finished off season 2 of the Grand Tour.
Grand Tour. What is the Grand Tour?
It's Top Gear, basically,
Top Gear.
made by Amazon.
successor to the Top Gear.
It's like Top Gear, but with a bigger budget.
Dude, should I watch that? Like everyone
It's
on the
good.
fucking internet talks about it.
You know
It's a
what?
good
Then
show.
it must be
Why
good.
is it good?
It's okay. I mean, it's a lot of the same stuff that they did in Top Gear. I got
I've
a little
never
sick
seen
of it
Top Gear.
because they do all the fucking all the tent segments. I was just like, ugh.
Hold on.
It got better in
Can
season
someone
2.
break down the show for me?
It's 3 English
car talk show.
It's car talk show.
Why would I care?
Well, if you're
Because
not
the
into
chemistry of the
cars-
I don't know,
hosts,
yeah,
they work
I don't-
so well off one another, and they get the budget to go do wonderfully stupid things.
It's a funny show, and they do stupid stuff, and it's not
In
like
cars.
it's not super like car technical. So
No.
they'll do things. They'll be like, they get 3 cars, and they're like, how quickly can we drive these from Italy to London? And then they just like spend an hour doing that, and it's fun to watch, and it's really cool. And that stuff in the Grand Tour is cool, but then they got really unfocused with it in the first season, and it kind of
they didn't really find their leg.
James May has a show by himself called Cars of the People.
Yeah.
That's kind of like Top Gear, but
Yeah.
it's all like every episode is just about one car, and it's about a car that was built to be like an economical like
Yeah.
like
in the 60s,
mass
70s,
produced
yeah.
car.
Real quick
and
before
that's
chat
I find that
scrolls
way
past.
better than Grand Tour.
SMG
honestly.
Sterling says it's about 3 doofs talking about cars and shit, except it's not at all about cars, and it's just an excuse for these 3 guys to fuck around with each other.
Yeah,
pretty much, yeah.
Thank you. I've always thought this was just a show about cars, and don't get me wrong, I find cars interesting, and I've watched probably hundreds of hours of things about cars, but I don't give a
No,
fuck.
they talk about car. I mean,
and
like, if
that's
it's an
fine.
hour-long program, they probably spend 15, 20
But they're
minutes
showing off like
actually,
super and hyper cars,
talking
like
about a car.
really
All
just.
right, I might look into it then. And J52 says watch the Reliant Robin segment, and
Oh,
that
that's
means
the best.
nothing to me. But okay.
I don't know what that is.
The Reliant Robin was an economical car made back in the 60s in the UK.
Was it that little like boxy one?
It's a little boxy one. It's a 3-wheeler.
Okay, I know what that is.
And it legally counted as a motorcycle, so you didn't have to be like full driving age in order to drive it.
Yeah.
Ooh.
But it was so poorly designed
It,
that
like,
you
tips
take
over and stuff.
It just constantly tips over. You take even a sharp a remotely sharp turn, and you're on your side.
You're just on your ass.
If you ever watch Mr. Bean, that car was always in Mr. Bean. Like it was always like anytime he'd drive somewhere, he'd like push it out of a parking spot and it'd like roll out into the traffic and get fucking smashed or something. Like,
All right.
like that show or that car was like a big cultural joke.
I'll
in
look
England
into it
for
I
a
then.
mean, it's
while.
hilarious.
Cool.
Video games?
Yeah, video games.
So, first of all, so Crispy's been playing some video games with Carlos, maybe? I don't know. That was from your stream the other day,
We
right?
did.
So there's not a
played
whole lot of
some games.
there's not a whole lot of new stuff to talk about, but I know you've been playing some games with Carlos, and they're all indie stuff, right?
Yeah, they're all
do-
super.
Nick,
do you
real
wanna-
quick. Do we want to do some feedback from?
Yeah.
Oh shit! Oh my god! Thank you. I'm just like
You're the one with the mouse. You're in charge here.
I'm a fucking mess today. All right, how do I do this? How do
Well,
I?
you got to click on
Scroll down
no
Wait.
left.
to the left.
Okay.
Scroll down until you see the one that says feedback.
Oh shit! Why am I
And
the
then
one
just do
doing
the
this?
check-
Don't you have a mouse?
I said 3 times earlier. Give the
Right
mouse to
there?
Chris
There it
Davis.
is. Yeah.
I got it. Oh, feedback! I got it. I can
You're
do
learning.
this.
Damn.
Look at this. I can do this. All right, we're
And
gonna
then-
read feedback.
And then pull that tab
Oh
out.
god damn it, Nolan.
Click and drag.
Hey, there you go.
There we go.
Yeah.
All right,
Perfect.
cool.
See, Nick, you can use computers.
This is very stressful. This is so stressful. Anyways, every week, guys, we take feedback from our previous episodes. So if you had any thoughts on any conversations we had and you want to leave your opinions or comments, whatever, you leave them on the site at 4playernetwork.com and we read them at the start of the next episode. So I'm going to read comments from episode 541. Turvo Ma says he's from Sweden. First of all, I've been noticing more people saying where they're from, which I've been kind of trying to get more people to do. It's cool to know everyone who's listening where they're from, so appreciate that.
He's from
all the way
Sweden?
from Sweden.
He says Herdengerbenbergen.
you guys.
This
Our
is
horror.
about State of Decay 2. I just wanted to clarify that if you buy a physical copy of the game, you will not receive a code for any other system than the one that you bought.
Correct.
That's because there was a lot of confusion last
Yeah.
week because of the way it's an all what do they call it?
Play anywhere.
Play anywhere game. So if you buy it digitally on PC, you also get a code for Xbox and vice versa. So you can. Do they share the same
Well,
save?
If you buy it through the Windows Store, you get the Xbox code.
Okay,
If you buy it digitally through an Xbox, you get the Windows code.
gotcha. But does anyone know if they use the same save? I'm just curious how that works.
I do
Like-
believe it's cross-play.
I think so.
Because that would be pretty cool.
I think I remember them talking about when they first talked about crossplay. I think I remember them talking about you can play on PC with someone on Xbox.
Yeah.
So I would assume that your saves would. I
That's
don't
really
know.
cool.
Yeah.
I hope that's the case. Anyways, he just wants to offer some clarification. He goes on to say the digital version, on the other hand, will grant you a crossplay code. Love y'all. He said he loves us. And he goes on to add, and the collector's edition does not include the game?
Yes, that's correct.
The collector's edition of the game doesn't include the game?
Whoa,
Yes.
whoa, slow your fucking roll. What the fuck's going on here?
The
Whoa.
collector's edition of State of Decay 2 does not come
Wait
with
a
the
minute.
game.
What does it come with?
It comes with like collector's shit.
Hang on. He misspelled y'all.
He did.
I mean, he's Swedish.
He said yeah.
Oh, yeah, it's sorry. He put YA
He said
apostrophe
he
LL.
said yeah all.
Yeah, it's actually
It's
supposed to be.
It's a conjunction of you and all.
So it's Y apostrophe ALL.
He's not
Y'all.
from Texas.
Just
I
Give him a
know.
break.
He's from
Just
Sweden.
sound it out, y'all.
Sounded out. Jesus Christ.
I guess so. Hold on.
JK,
I was
I love you,
confused.
Trevor Mott.
That's the collector's edition, not the ultimate edition. Because the ultimate edition I know comes with the game.
As far as
and
I'm concerned,
the
Season
original
pass.
game.
There is no
The
edition.
original game too.
Yeah.
There is no edition of any game that shouldn't. That every edition of every single game
it's
in existence
increasingly
should
being
include
done,
the
though.
game itself. That is the dumbest fucking thing I've ever heard.
Wolfenstein 2 did it. There's been several games that have done that.
Wait,
recently.
Wolfenstein 2 had an edition that didn't include the game?
Correct.
What the fuck?
I think Doom had that as well.
God.
All y'all.
Oh my god. All right, moving on. Drew327 is referencing a conversation we had from a Patreon question. Somebody asked us the what was it?
We're not going to put it in context for you. You'll have to listen to the episode.
Okay, that's right.
Or watch it on YouTube.
Drew327 wanted to add his input. He said $1,500 a year, definitely never pooping again.
All right.
Boy, that's an interesting answer. Wonder what the question was. You'll have to listen to last week's episode to find out.
Episode 541. Sir Thomas Thipple said, I like to think all these public poopers and that guy who yacked on the bus Brolos Road are actually time travelers. In their previous timelines, they were sensible and did their business where they were supposed to, but it led to some kind of catastrophe. They are now traveling back in time to poop or vomit elsewhere in order to stop the catastrophe from happening again. They are truly unsung heroes.
Interesting.
Or they're just creating the darkest timeline.
That is, that's an interesting take on that. I never would have thought of that.
It's definitely the only thing that makes sense.
Yeah, I mean, it sounds logical. He also says, don't worry about the name thing. It was just a bit. Don't take it to heart. I love you guys. That's 2 people that said they love us this week. That's so sweet. Yeah, we couldn't figure out the name thing. Sorry about that. Lauric says, Nintendo continues to do a really bad job of promoting Hyrule Warriors on Switch. It's not actually a port of the Wii U version, but instead the heavily improved 3DS version. The changes that were added to make it make it one of the best Warriors games to date. Things like taking up to 4 characters into battle instead of 1, seamlessly being able to jump between them while being able to give move and attack commands to units you are currently controlling. Really recommend checking it out. The version was so well improved it made the Wii U version almost unplayable.
Interesting.
That
sounds like what was the other one they were coming out with? The other Warriors game, Fire Emblem Warriors or whatever.
Yeah.
It sounded like what I played of that. When I played that at E3 last year, that's what you had 4 characters that you were jumping in between in battle.
I thought Hyrule Warriors looked pretty cool. Unfortunately, I was just so I don't know. I just have like such a negative connotation with Warriors games because of Dynasty Warriors.
Games,
that I just can't bring myself to take this.
I mean, at the end of the day, they're fucking Warriors games.
Yeah,
they still are. Yeah.
Like, it's the same formula they've been working on since fucking.
But there are other games,
1998.
other genres that iterate on the same formula over and over again that we still play. It's not necessarily about that.
But like Koei Tecmo has put out like 40 Warriors games at this point.
Yeah, that's pretty ridiculous. But if I was to pick a Warriors game at this point to play, I think it would be Hyrule Warriors.
Probably.
Just saying.
Well, just don't play the most recent Dynasty Warriors because I hear it's absolute dog shit.
Oh, I won't. I won't play anything with the word Dynasty Warriors in the title.
Well, they try to make it open world, and it does not work at all.
That sounds awful. Mangum87 has our last bit of feedback for this week. He says, watching from Fort Worth.
That's not far away
That's
at
not
all.
far away at all from us. With all this talk about Red Dead Redemption, I couldn't help but start to play a new playthrough. I played it just 1 year ago, but I'm still enjoying my time and scooping up trophies that I didn't have before. That is such a good transition. I feel
Red Dead
like
cycles are synced.
yeah, like I feel like maybe we should just kind of use this as. I know we're going to talk about your indie games.
Oh, yeah.
but
No, let's talk about the 10-year-old game first.
yes,
Good idea.
let's do that because we've. Oh,
Yeah.
sorry. I can get rid of this now, and I can change the
Yes, you
overlay.
can.
Oh my god, Red Dead Redemption. No, that's the wrong. There was 2 things that had the word "dead" in the title here, so I don't know which one.
Dead End Drive.
Well, I order them from impressions to news going up.
Shit, really?
So-
Crispy.
That's probably it.
No, it's dead end. I don't think you put. I think you're missing one.
I
Scroll
dragged
up.
him.
No, you're missing one. Oh well. Let's talk about fucking Red Dead.
I'm going to turn off the feedback overlay.
Oh god, guys, you're killing me.
Then give the mouse to Chris
Give it
Davis!
to me!
I don't know why. I thought you said. Oh god. Here, pass this down. Let's talk about Red Dead. We've all. No, Crispy, you can't take over the mouse.
Go.
All right, so last week we had.
Thank you.
I had actually started playing some Red Dead. At this point, I know Nolan has blown past me and is playing a shit ton of it. But to my surprise, Crispy has also been playing a ton of Red Dead. I don't want to spend a lot of time talking about this, but it seems like it's worth mentioning because we're all playing it.
Sure.
How's
Why
everybody
not?
feel about Red Dead?
I'm
It's
not
been,
playing.
it's been 8 years since that
You
game
guys
came
are
out.
playing.
Let
I'm
me
not
just
playing
say
that.
something real quick. The volcanic pistol is ass.
Ooh,
Wait,
yeah.
what's wrong with the volcanic
Is
pistol?
ass.
I've been rolling with the
Nicholas is ass.
I was using it for a while.
It is a dumb pistol that you only use when it's the only thing better than the Cattleman revolver.
All right, fair enough. I never once said the volcanic pistol was the best pistol in the game. I just said I used it a few
It is
times.
ass.
All right,
With
it's
a capital S.
Which S is capital?
S.
So yeah, let me just say that I had heard Nick was playing it, and Nick had talked about it a little bit, and we on the previous podcast were talking about Red Dead 2.
Yeah. That's why I started. I think we all are playing this
Oh,
because
definitely.
let's
I
be
mean,
honest, we're all
October
pretty excited
26th
for Red Dead 2.
October 26th. It's what, 7 months now?
Yeah, and I started playing because I just didn't want to double up and play it right before Red Dead 2 came out because I didn't want to burn myself out on it.
Yeah, and that's a good reason. And so Nick was talking about it, and I was playing Into the Breach.
Yeah.
And I was playing on hard mode. And it's hard. And so I was like, God damn it, like I'm getting frustrated. I want to just pop in something I can play and not get frustrated. And I was like, what about Red Dead? So I turned on my Xbox 360, which thankfully came on, and hey, Red Dead's already in there because I actually started this.
Was it just sitting on your fucking in your system?
Yeah, I started playing Red Dead about a year and a half ago, maybe.
Yeah.
And I had gotten maybe 5 or 6 hours in, and I was like, you know what, I'm just gonna pick up that playthrough, and goddamn, that game fucking holds up.
Yes, it does.
It is still good.
It still has the kind of the wonkiness control wise of
older
Rockstar
Rockstar games. Yeah.
That's kind of one of the things I'm really hoping to see them improve on in Red Dead 2 is kind of tighten up the controls a little bit. But yeah, that game, the world building in that game is just insane. The action still feels great.
Yeah.
The combat feels great. I still fucking love the ragdoll physics in that game. It's so good. Also, one of my favorite things is shooting someone in that game, and when they fall over, like their hand like hits the ground and like fires the gun off. And sometimes they will shoot other people, like other enemies, because they out of pure luck.
Wow, something bit me.
Yeah, some of the commentary from random people in those games are great too.
Yeah,
and I will say that it definitely has quite a bit of old Rockstar jank.
Yeah.
And dude, I fucking love that though. Like just some of like you saw earlier, I was playing a bit before the stream for those who showed up early. And just I was in bear country, and Crispy in the span of about 7 or 8 minutes, I killed 18 bears. And they just keep coming.
He skinned them all, and he turned around, and you just look back, and you can see this like
field of pink bodies.
Field of like
still up
bear
there
corpses.
murdering bears to this day.
And dude, it's just like that. Like in like Cougar Country, where it's just cougars coming in and out and everywhere, and just
Cougar Country. I love that show.
Right. And you know, the story's good. I will say I'm hoping. And now that I've played this in more recently, and so it's still in my mind, I had forgot about like Javier Escuela. I forgot about that character.
I've completely forgotten.
Exactly. Well, that's one of the whole points.
I just got to Mexico, or I'm on the mission where I'm crossing into Mexico.
Sure.
You seem like you've already gone.
I'm finished with Mexico.
Okay, so you're on Blackwater.
Yeah, Blackwater. Yeah. But yeah, so like that's one of the whole reasons you go to Mexico is because you're looking for Javier Escuela and Bill Williamson and Dutch, and you've heard that they went to Mexico.
Now here's so. I wish I could add more to this because I'm obviously about to play the Mexico part. I remember back in the day, and every time I hear someone talk about Red Dead, everyone talks about Mexico being like the worst part of the game.
It's not.
But I don't remember that being the case either.
It's not. I don't know why people... I mean, hold on. So are you saying it's the worst part of the game, as in this place is great and this place is great, and this one's also
like,
good, which makes it worse because it's not as great?
The story, they say the story kind of dips.
It's the weakest of the acts in the game.
I know, I will agree it's the weakest, but I'm not saying it's bad, though.
No, it's not.
Does that make sense?
I honestly don't remember.
And that's fine.
In Mexico.
Yeah, that's fine. You don't have to. I mean, you'll probably will play it recently.
I mean, I think the most memorable part of the game, as far as like what actually transpires, is actually the third act in Blackwater. There's a lot of.
I'm scared he's gonna choke.
Yeah, Butters is getting really aggressive with that.
Yeah.
Like it's funny. Like I've just played through all of the first act of the game.
Mm-hmm.
And there was a lot of stuff in there that I completely forgot happened.
Mm-hmm.
But like most of my memories of Red Dead, when I just kind of think about it off the top of my head, it usually stem from stuff that happens in Blackwater.
That's probably because that's the last part you played of it, so it's like freshest in your mind in that regard.
But I think it also has some of the strongest story moments.
Well,
in the
I mean,
game,
if you think about
the epilogue,
that's how people's memory works.
Davis.
That's how people's memory works.
We can talk about this.
Hold on. When you remember something, if like say a list of things, you generally tend to remember the beginning and the end, not the middle.
Yeah.
Which is maybe why people remember Mexico less fondly, because it's the middle chunk of the game.
Yeah.
And
It's like the Empire Strikes Back of the game.
well, don't say that.
No.
I see what you did there.
Don't say
you son
that.
of a bitch.
But yeah, so but that's what I'm saying. That
I'd say it's more of the Attack of the Clones.
that might be why.
But that is really bad.
So yeah, I've played a huge chunk, and I've definitely the one thing that makes me mad is one of my favorite outfits from the game is the Legend of the West one.
Yeah.
And it's the Duster outfit, and unfortunately to unlock it, you have to complete every challenge.
Yeah.
Which is a fucking bitch. And so I really want it though, and so I've been doing a bunch of those challenges just because I remember really liking that outfit.
I remember just really enjoying doing all the challenges and it kind of gives you something to do when you're like, I don't really feel like doing a mission, but like the challenges and and how everything you do, like whether it's, shooting birds out of the sky or like finding a certain kind of like plant or, those kinds of things, like all those challenges all add to unlocking new outfits, which gives you, different, like new, not necessarily abilities, but like perks.
Some of the outfits, and I don't think it's necessarily the ones you unlock from doing those challenges, but some of them do actually change the gameplay a little bit. Like I know one of the like the Bandito outfit or whatever, like makes like bandits and when you're in Mexico less likely to attack you or something.
Yeah,
like that.
they're like
the
passive.
high
They give you
roller
passive
outfit.
perks and abilities.
The high roller outfit lets you cheat at blackjack.
Yeah.
Exactly.
Poker, yeah.
That's the best way to get into gunfights. You
Yeah,
just
it's a
like
cheat.
get caught cheating, then they're like, I want to kill you, and you're like, okay, bam, 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 and they're dead. I love that. I'm sorry.
Nolan was having trouble with that earlier.
Oh, dude, I had a really, and that's another thing I want to talk
I
about.
love that
Hold
the
on.
quick draw is like you can just empty your whole gun before they even get like a shot off.
So I want before I
That's how it works.
Speaking of gambling, when I was in Mexico, when I was streaming for however fucking long I streamed on Sunday.
Thanks for doing that, by the way.
Yeah, you're welcome. I was trying to get that Bandito outfit, and so one of the things you had to do was, you have to do a job in Mexico, and then you have to do this, and one of those is you have to win at Liar's Dice. You have to clear a table.
I tried to do that the
Liar's
other day.
Dice.
Fuck Liar's Dice.
Dude, I love that game.
I
So
wish I
I'm
understood
playing
it.
Liar's Dice, and Jesus was one of the players, and he was like, Jesus never loses, and he fucking was horrible. He was so bad. And
False advertising.
yeah, and it was just hilarious, just like watching, and he just made the dumbest fucking bets. If y'all don't remember Liar's Dice, the whole point is everyone playing has 6 dice, and you fucking put them in a cup and you slam them down, and then you say, I think on the table there are 2 4s, and someone's like, oh, well, I think there are 3 4s, and it's kind of about upping the ante until someone says bluff. Or says, I think that's right. And then everyone reveals their dice. And if the person that bluffed was wrong, they lose a dice. And if the person...
But it's a game of guessing, right?
No, not necessarily.
I don't get this
Well,
shit.
you have to take in what you have on the table. So if...
I get that part. But, like, if you have, like, 2 4s,
Sure.
and you say, I bet there are 4 4s on the table, you're guessing that there's 2 4s
Well,
on
it's an
somewhere else.
educated guess. Because you have to remember, you have to think about how many dice those people have, and you have to remember what they said before. So if this guy said he has, he said, I think there's 2 3s, he probably has some 3s, which means it is less likely that he has some 4s.
You're right, Wangless. I am not a gambler.
No.
What was your first hint?
So anyway, I fucking clear the table, and it's great. But that made me remember, and I don't know if Bernadette, she's in chat, I know. I don't know if she remembers, but there was one of the first times I was in Blackwater, and this was way back in 2010 probably. And I was playing poker. And I want to say, I can't remember the guy's name, it was Leon or something. And he was the saddest looking fucking guy. And we were playing poker, and he kept losing horribly. And it was one of those things, what does that move? What are you doing? Okay. And he kept losing, and he just looked so depressed, and he talked about his wife back home or something like that. And I was just like, God damn it, Leon, just leave the table. Just leave with what little money you have.
Poor Leon.
Yeah, it was the guy with glasses. There's a 4-player animated video about it, apparently. We need to look that up on the break. But I just remember that so fondly. And that's just one of the things I fucking love about
Poor Leon.
just being able to remember stuff like that. And it's just the fact that there are all these mini games you can do.
I played 2 games of Liar's Dice on Saturday or whatever it was. I lost twice, and then I shot both.
That was another good thing you could do, is if you lose, you could kill them and take the money.
I was just like, fuck this game.
Yeah.
Oh my god. I love this game
You're
so
damn
much.
cheat. Bam, bam, bam.
Yeah, dude, that game was so good. Or is so good. I'm still playing. And like you said, but anyway, so what Chris Davis was saying, even though people remember this game fondly, and it is good, there's issues. Like I was playing
Every
the
game has
quick
issues.
draw like mechanic is never like the best. It's never well explained. You just know that you're supposed to draw and shoot them. But I was doing
and no one ever stops himself from emptying an entire
Oh no, you
clip.
always did the whole clip. But I was doing a story mission, so you have to like do this quick draw. And every time I would pull my gun and I would pop, 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 and then he would kill me, and I would get no shots off. And there's these bars on the side that kind of measure as you aim hits on them, that goes up, and you need yours to go higher than theirs. And it's not really it's not explained why you're not doing well.
Yeah.
And I was talking with Chris Davis about it, and I was like, you know, I think maybe more modern games might do it. If you die like 4 times in a row, it'll probably give you a hint.
Yeah.
Like, hey, by the way, maybe try doing this.
Yeah.
But instead, Red Dead's just like, no, try again. Nah, try again. Try again. And it was really frustrating. And I was like, okay, well, at first it's because I tried to shoot him in the dick 6 times. So maybe the game didn't want me to do that. So then I aimed for his head. And I put a bunch of bullets in his head. Still lost. So then I aimed for his gun. Still lost. And then the 4th time, I aimed for his head again. And that time won. And I'm like, wait, why?
Yeah, it
Like
just sounds
I
like
didn't
a bug.
really understand it. And so anyway, like this game's definitely not perfect. The horse like AI is fucking so stupid. I was talking with Bernadette about this. Every time I fucking go to lasso someone and I hog time and my horse is chilling next to me and then I pick him up and as soon as I pick him up my horse starts walking away. I'm like, are you fucking kidding me? I clearly want to put this guy on the horse.
The horse is just getting excited. He's
Yeah.
like, I'm ready to go.
Yeah.
But you know what? If anyone was watching, no, it sucked because it happened off the street. Because before we switched over and people were watching Nolan play before the podcast tonight, you had this beautiful moment where this bear was charging at you at full speed.
Yeah.
You went into Deadeye mode, so everything slowed down, and he's aiming his rifle, like about to shoot the bear square in the eyes, and all of a sudden his horse comes
Slow motion.
comes in from the side.
Oh, he's my friend.
And he's like about to run right in front of the shot. I swear to God, I thought no one was
Mr. President!
I thought he was about to blow his
Get
horse's
down,
head
Mr.
off
President.
right there.
I'm fairly certain the bullet grazed the horse's nose.
He fired the shot, and it went right past the horse's face and shot the bear square in the head. That was so funny. I really wish we had been streaming
I'm
that because that
sorry.
would have been beautiful.
That was good.
But man, I love this game. By the
Yeah.
way, I spent like an hour and a half playing horseshoes the other day.
You know
Nice.
what? You know what's exciting about the new Red Dead coming out
What's
is
that?
that we kind of went through like a little Western period ever since the first one came out.
Yeah.
Like the first one was so popular that I'm pretty sure it kind of like influenced this big like rise in popularity.
Oh,
in,
definitely.
in
Yeah.
and
Of course.
westerns again. I
Western.
mean, a lot of classic westerns got remade since then. The 2 I can think of off the top of my head are
True Grit.
and Magnificent 7.
Mm-hmm.
But there's been
310
other
to
like
Yuma.
Bone. Oh yeah, 310 to Yuma, Bone Tomahawk was an original. Westworld, you had stuff like that. I mean, there's been a bunch of really cool Western media come out since the first game, and I'm just wondering
We're gonna see another.
what kind of like
surge.
references and well, I'm thinking more about like references and like for instance, Ed Harris's gun in Westworld, the Lamont revolver.
Yeah.
I wonder if that's gonna be in Red Dead.
Yeah, I mean-
because that gun is fucking cool.
It's cool to think about. You know, if Red Dead had any kind of influence on media, Western media coming up and becoming popular for a while, and then turning around and seeing if that somehow like works its way backwards,
back in,
which that could be cool. And that's what Rockstar fucking does. It's
Dude,
full
it's
of
Rockstar.
references.
There might even be like a fucking side mission about a robot cowboy.
Hell
could
a
be,
Yul
yeah.
Brynner cowboy. like just
Oh my
murdering
God,
people.
I can't fucking wait. I can't wait. All right. Anyways, that's enough Red Dead.
Yeah.
Let's talk about some other stuff. I know, Crispy, you played some stuff with Carlos.
I
the
was
other night?
Jamesing it up, man.
Alleged video games.
Fucking gaming. You know what? You say that, and that's a little rude
And yet it's
because
accurate.
these are actually like really cool creative games that just don't, that were just made by individuals for little to no money. But the ideas and the design going into at least 2 of them are fucking really cool. One of them's kind of shit.
Okay, now I want to know which one's
Carlos
showing.
really likes it, but
So these were all
I
games that
wasn't a
Carlos
fan.
recommended.
Yes, we did a broadcast the other night called Carlos Curates Krispy, where he prepared a list of games and I played them and we talked about them while we were playing.
Nice.
Interesting.
We had a lot of fun doing it. I think we're gonna do another one at some point in the future.
Should we start with this one?
Which one? Yeah, okay, that's the one I didn't like. So let's start there.
We can only go up.
Cool. So the first game I played was Anomaly Opening Night. Now I'm sure you've heard of this because Carlos has talked about it numerous times. I'm pretty sure. In fact, I'm fairly certain that he played all 3 of these games. I'm going to talk about on the feed at some point. So hopefully,
I've seen him at least play one of them.
hopefully people in the
I know
community-
Anomaly looked interesting or like familiar. Sorry.
So Anomaly is noteworthy in that it is basically kind of mechanically kind of like a Resident Evil 4 clone.
Mm-hmm.
It's very much like over the shooter kind of thing, over the shoulder shooter kind of thing. I will say that I couldn't get it to work properly when I was recording footage with my DualShock 4
Controller?
the drivers for it. Like I used DS4 Windows to use the DualShock 4, and no matter what I tried, the game just like
Chugs?
Yeah, no.
Oh, I think I've seen this
It
game.
does chug, doesn't it? Huh.
oh no.
Well,
It might
shit.
just be
They're
that
probably
split.
all gonna do that. OBS was being a real.
You were
bitch
recording at a
today.
very high bit rate.
Well, I didn't change anything.
Well,
So-
800 megs for like a 3-minute video.
I mean,
That's
I'm
pretty
sorry,
big.
Man. I didn't.
It's cool,
I'm
don't worry
using
about
the
it.
It's okay,
exact
it's
same
okay,
settings
don't worry
I've
about it,
been
it's okay.
using for years.
It'll look good on the YouTube video.
I want to talk about this right now.
Wait, what's
Because
going
you've only
on?
got 3
What is
minutes of footage.
Why is the
Okay,
character
so
spinning?
basically what's going on is that like the camera and the controls are just like are stuck in like an up and to the left kind of motion. So he's just rotating, and also the gun's trigger, whenever I pull the trigger, it also opens the menu at the same time that it's firing the gun.
Wait, is this the point of the game?
No. This is not representative of the game at all. The game is
Okay.
supposed to just be a third-person shooter. The only way I could get it to like kind of function is if I sprinted everywhere, which works until I enter a room where I actually need to shoot things, and maybe you'll see how
That would be
goes.
amazing if they put out a game where it was always moving in that direction.
The game itself, basically, you're a ghost cop.
Mm-hmm.
I don't
Wait,
know.
you're a cop who is a
You are
ghost?
a cop who is there specifically to close ghost anomalies. And you go to this abandoned movie theater, and there's a few anomalies around the theater that you have to, like, close, and they're basically like these glowing blue orb things that are being fed by these eyeballs that appear in the environment, and you have to shoot the eyeballs to close the rift, right?
Okay.
That is basically the game. This whole experience is like 30-45 minutes tops, and there's a bunch of those mannequins running around which kind of like attack you sometimes or chase you. There's a couple encounters with this like weird knife monster that you can't kill, you just have to run away from it. There's some cool little set piece things, like it does some neat little hallway tricks, like some non-Euclidean shit. There's also a really neat part where like a gigantic mannequin is like trying to kill you and you're
Yeah.
running away from it.
That sounds like a lot to happen in a 45-minute.
I mean, it
sounds
just
intense.
goes. It just goes. It's just like there's no stop. There's like you go like it's split into 5 chapters, and a chapter will literally be like 2 minutes long. It's like me running into this room and closing this rift is one chapter, and then like chapter
Did you
2,
you casted this, right?
yes,
And it wasn't doing this when you
No,
cast it?
no,
Okay,
no, no,
okay.
I think it's so
it
funny. Like every
started-
time you fire the gun,
Yeah, every time I try to fire the gun, it opens the menu, and I think I accidentally closed the game at one point, and I was just like, okay,
I would say maybe we'll get new footage of this for the YouTube video.
oh, there it is. Quit game.
Damn it.
And I was just like, okay, cool.
I feel like people like just joining and be like, "What is happening?"
I feel bad talking about this and showing this footage because this was like a student project game, and for what it is, it's actually pretty interesting. It's kind of neat, and it's free. You can just look up Anomaly Opening Night and download it. I mean, like, it's super free. Like, I don't know if you can tell, but right here in the corner, it says for educational purposes only because they were using a educational version of Unity to build the game.
Sure.
oh wow!
Well, that just means they can't sell it.
Right.
Yeah.
It was a student project.
Yeah.
Kind of thing. But yeah, I mean, it's if you're really into like Resident Evil 4 style horror shooters and
I would say that I
you
am.
want to see something that's students trying to recreate that, then yeah, it's neat. it's cool. But that's all I really.
If you like looking up and to the left,
back and to the left,
If you really like
back
menus,
and to the left, yeah.
Lesson
weird.
learned: use an X input controller next time. I guess.
all right, let's move on to the next. What was the next one? So that was the one that you weren't as impressed.
That was the
with.
one I wasn't so great about. Yeah. The other two I think are like genuinely interesting twists on the genres that they're trying to.
sure.
Let's see.
What genres are those,
There we
Crispy?
go. Dead End. Okay, so Dead End Road. This game you can buy on Steam, and I would, if you're into horror games, I would actually definitely recommend it. I would also recommend it if you're a fan of a little game called FTL. This is basically.
By the way, I did confirm that I do in fact own FTL.
Yeah, there you
Yeah,
go.
of course you do.
News to
Dead
me.
End Road is basically a horror driving game simulator in the vein of FTL. The whole idea is that you are conducting a ritual to ask demons for something. I don't know. It's like basically granting a wish. You at the beginning of the game, this lady tells you how to do the ritual. You do it, and then you fuck it up, and a demon comes through and is basically like chasing you.
Okay.
So you get a car, and you're in a first-person view in a car, okay? And you have to drive from where you are to the next town. And you have like a little map that shows you how far that is. But it's just a linear path between where you are to the town, and you're driving the car. You've got a couple of
Knobs.
no like
Moves.
functions with the car you can do. That doesn't actually help.
You can check the map. You can check
Well,
the.
you were like,
I know you
headlights,
think you're
fuel
helping,
gauge.
but it doesn't actually. But yeah, like you can turn on the windshield wipers, you can turn on the dome light, you can hit the horn, you can turn on and off the headlights, and you can turn on and off the radio. This is kind of important because the game fucks with all of that to try to fuck you up.
Quick rule when you're in a horror experience: never turn on the radio.
Yeah, the radio turns itself on.
Wonderful, just fucking wonderful.
Yeah.
So yeah, you can see here I'm doing the ritual where, I mean, all you do is just do this little like directional input, quote unquote puzzle, and then it asks you what you want, and you have to type something in. It doesn't really matter what you type.
What did you
kinda
say?
does.
What did you say you wanted?
Well, when we were streaming it, I couldn't get it to accept anything I wanted to put in because they all had to do with sex or poop.
wait, will it not let you do that?
Yeah, they wouldn't
Wait,
let you do
poop?
that.
Why
It was
would
like
you
it was like the demons don't understand what you're trying to say.
Oh, rude.
So I put in boneless pizza, and it
Nice.
was like accepted.
Boneless?
and then the devil who's like talking to you the whole time sounds like the boneless pizza like guy. It's
Yeah.
fucking weird. But yeah, see, I tried to put butt and poop, and then poop from a butt. And it's like no,
Poop from my butt.
yeah. And then I think I on this one I ended up putting money. Yeah, money. Yeah,
And it accepted
It's like,
money.
Yep. So then, yeah, right here is like the fucking demon thing chasing you. It's like, oh, fuck you! And you're like, oh my god, no! And you run to a door.
Can you see anything?
This is really dark, I think.
It's a very dark game.
Oh,
There's
it
the
is.
door.
Yeah, it was loading. Okay. Oh, and it's fucking janked.
It's still
up,
doing
too.
it.
I think it might just be dark.
It's both.
Apparently,
but
when,
you get in
when
the car-
Carlos played this, he asked for a boner.
A boner, yeah.
Did it accept it?
So you can tell like right behind where Nolan's head is when the dome lights are on. There's like a gas gauge and a damage gauge. So like as you're driving, you can hit things which will damage your car, and you're also using gas, which is a finite resource, and if you run out of it, you lose the game. And you're trying to get basically what you're trying to do is it's an FTL style map where you will come to crossroads and you have to choose which town you're going to drive to. Oh, I just hit a carriage with a baby in it.
Nice.
What was that
and-
doing out there?
And on the way, you have to get to the other side of the map, and by the time you get to the end of the map, you have to have acquired a book, a bell, and a candle. And there's all sorts of books and bells and candles that you can buy throughout the game, but you only start with £100, and that's it. You can do things throughout the game.
How much do you need to buy all those things?
Well, it depends on what you buy. Like some books are cheaper than others. It just depends on what you find.
Are you actually steering the car too?
Yes. I am accelerating and steering the car.
Nice.
And then, as you can see, like weird shit happens. This is pretty tame compared to like how fucked up it gets later. But yeah, the whole game is basically just trying to freak you out and get you to die and crash your car or whatever. And you're trying to get to the end of the map with all the items you need and
interesting
alive, with enough gas to do that.
How long did you beat this game?
No. But I mean, a playthrough
You
is
just hit
probably
that.
It seems like it'd be like a fairly
20
short.
minutes. Yeah.
Yeah.
It really depends. But yeah, when you go to towns, there'll be different stores open. You can go to different ones to get different items. Like you can go to a mechanic to buy gasoline or to get upgrades for your car. There will be gas stations on certain roads that you can stop in, get more gas at. Stuff like that. But this is a really interesting kind of adaptation of the roguelike elements of an FTL type game put into a horror setting.
Yeah.
So this
I like the rear view mirror.
Yeah.
Does anything ever
Yeah.
pop up in the
Oh,
rear
yeah.
view mirror? Okay.
Oh yeah, of
I
course
figured
it
as
does.
much.
Of course it does. And when you pick up hitchhikers, they sit in the back seat.
What?
Yeah. The only way I've found that you can actually earn money in the game if you're running out of money is picking up hitchhikers.
So
if you get him to
you're
the next
hula.
town,
You're normally I would think that you would like lose money when you pick up. Yeah, never mind.
why would you lose?
Like prostitutes.
They're not prostitutes. You'd see them. You wouldn't.
Prostitutes.
It's very much a cash or grass scenario, but yeah, everybody looks like that. Like these hollow-eyed people who are just like breathing.
They do look a little
they're
weird.
These
fucking
husks
horrifying.
of human
Yeah.
people.
And so like that's what the hitchhiker looks like when he's in your car, and he's like his face is just taking up half of the mirror, and it's just like looking at you. But there are other things that'll like pop up. So like there'll be things that pop up in your back seat, and like the dome lights on, and they'll look like fucking like demon murderers. And if you don't turn the dome light off, they kill you.
What the fuck?
Yeah.
Would you say this game frightened you?
It is spooky. It's not like the most terrifying thing I've ever seen, but it is spooky.
Cool.
Yeah, I would definitely recommend it if you like horror.
This is called Dead End Road.
Dead End Road.
Sweet.
So yeah, buy a Bible just in case. And then I think I actually die as soon as I leave town because I stop. I drive
You
into
pick up the wrong hitchhiker.
No, well, I stopped to pick up a hitchhiker at the entrance of a tunnel, and as I'm parked and he's getting in the car, another car just comes and plows into
Nice.
me and kills me. And you can't really tell in the video here, but all the audio cues for like when you're about to crash into a car, when you hit something, they're all fucking horrifying.
Really?
Like a lot of the sound design in this game is what kind of carries the illusion, and it is really well done and really fucking terrifying.
Do you know how much this is?
I think it's like $3.
I can afford that.
It is not. Oh yeah, right here. So I stopped
that's
to pick
creepy.
up the
That was
hitchhiker.
creepy looking too.
Yeah.
I'm sorry.
Yeah, the whole thing. Oh,
Nice.
done. The guy didn't even stop. Didn't even try. But yeah. So that's Dead End Road.
Cool.
Pretty cool.
That does look pretty cool. What's the final game that Carlos recommended for you?
So the final game that we played was Save the Date, which I
Sounds
think
familiar.
might have been my favorite. It's a dating simulator.
He's played this before on the feed too.
That's why I might have seen it.
Carlos has played this before in the feed. But
Dating sim.
dating simulator. I'm just waiting for the footer.
Sorry.
There.
Very bare bones. Very kind of very reminiscent of like an old Flash game. But the whole premise is just like any other dating game. You're going.
Oh my
on
god, that phone.
Yeah, you're going on.
It's a razor.
You're going on a date with a girl, and she's like, "Oh, where do you want to go?" And you have like 3 options. You can go to a burger place, a Thai place, or like a seafood joint.
Oh, this.
And then you're like, "Oh, well, like
Shit.
basically whatever you do, whatever you try to do, she gets killed." She dies.
Spoilers.
Like you'll see. Like right here, I'm like, oh, let's go to the Thai restaurant. And she's like, oh, Thai food. I love Thai food. And you get there, and she's like, I'm gonna get the pad Thai, and you're like, I'm gonna get yellow curry with chicken. And she's like, oh, that's great. Blah blah blah. I love this food. Blah. And then she stops talking, and the narration's like, yeah, she fucking goes into anaphylactic shock and dies because she has a peanut allergy, and she didn't know there were peanuts in pad Thai. But the cool thing about this game is every time you reload, even if you're just like reloading from a previous save, it carries over information you learn. So next time you reload the game and you go to the Thai restaurant, you'll be like, oh, well, there's peanuts in pad Thai, right? And she's like, oh my god, there is? Thank you for telling me. I had no idea. That would have killed me. And then she's like all freaked out about how you know that. And then, like, there's all these options. You can tell her all these different lies about, like, oh, I'm from the future, or, like, I'm a wizard. And then it gets to the point where it's like, I reloaded a previous save. That's how I know. And she's like, what are you talking about? And then you start getting this whole conversation about how, like, this is a video game. I'm playing a video game, and the whole point of the game is me to date you, but everything I do kills you. And then she's like, what are you talking about? So then you'll ask her questions. You'll be like, okay, I want you to think of a really obscure word. And she'll be like, okay. And you're like, tell me it. And she tells you it. And she's like, I don't understand what this proves. And you're like, don't worry about it. This is for when I reload next time. And then, like, you go back and you start that conversation again. You're like, think of a weird word. And she's like, okay. And you're like, it was rutabaga. And she's like, how the fuck did you know that? It's all about, like, basically trying to save her life. But, like, it turns into this weirder thing.
Groundhog's Day.
And it gets even more kind of, and it gets like even more just like weird and meta, and then like you're basically having to like coax all this really personal information out of her just so that you can like convince her that you're
trying to save her life,
and that like she needs to listen to you. And
so is the way to win the game to like have her survive the date?
It's called Save the Date. Yeah.
I'm not going to tell you.
I suppose you're right.
The whole point of this game is the ending, and that's all I'm going to say.
I'm with you, Nolan.
I've never played this game, so I honestly don't know.
Dude, no, I mean, it gets fucking like...
It sounds interesting.
It gets intense.
When you started talking about this, I didn't expect it to go.
Like it goes to places that are real like, wow. Yeah, it's like it starts getting like super philosophical and like, well, what's the nature of consciousness and shit like that? Like, if I think this is real, isn't it real? Like, what's I don't know. It
sounds cool.
It's weird. It's really neat, and it does some kind of neat meta out of the box things that are really fun. But yeah, it is a game with a very concise message that is not necessarily obvious.
It's anti-peanut.
Yeah, basically. See, like, I quick saved right there, right? So now I'm gonna try something else, and like here, I'm like, I reloaded from a previous video game, and you're just like, she's like, what does that mean? And you're like, you can tell her like, I mean, I'm playing a video game, you know, like it gets really cool. It's really interesting. This is, of the three I played, this is the one I would most highly recommend. You can probably get to a quote unquote, like, I don't want to say ending, but a place where you're satisfied with the game.
Cool.
In about an hour, maybe.
For those, I see a couple people in chat asking us to remind them what the game is called. It's called Save the Date. It seems like a very appropriate, well-named game.
Yeah,
sounds like
definitely.
But yeah, cool. like it gets to the point where like anything you try to do to save her, something will kill her, and it gets like more and more ridiculous. Like when you save her from the peanut allergy, the next thing you try, like you save her from that, and then like ninjas attack the restaurant and kill her. And it's just like, why did that even happen? It gets like more and more ridiculous. It's interesting. It's really cool.
Did the ninjas try and kill her with peanuts?
You should do.
You don't know. Well, no.
They're throwing peanuts.
You get hit by nunchucks and you're knocked out, and then you find out later that she's one of the like 12 people killed.
Yeah. That's cool. You should do more of these Carlos curates Krispy things. This is pretty good.
Yeah, it was a lot of fun.
Cool things are born from it, I've learned. So as far as other impressions go, we've all kind of just been playing stuff we've been talking about.
I can talk about one thing very briefly.
Quick updates, yeah.
I would have talked about this in greater depth. It's not a new game. It technically came out on consoles last year, but it came out on PC this year. And I started playing it the other day. And It's a game that I don't think I want to play on my own. I will cast it,
For what reason?
but that's probably the only way I will play it.
Is it spoopy?
You're killing me.
No, it's
You're
not
killing
spoopy.
me, Noel.
And
What
if
is
anyone has any guesses, they're welcome to
Fortnite.
guess. No.
Shit, I don't
PUBG.
know.
No.
That could be anything.
No.
Came out last year on console and this year on PC.
Yeah.
Well, that wouldn't be PUBG.
No. Gamerbeck got it. Senran Kagura Peach
Oh.
Beach Splash. I played through the tutorial of that the other day with the full intent to play it for quite a bit in capture footage for the stream.
Motherfucker.
And I stopped myself just because that's not a game that I play for my own benefit. It's a game I play because it's fun to
You don't want
stream.
You're what you're saying is you feel ashamed sitting at home by yourself playing Senran Kagura.
Yes, but if
Gotcha.
other people are watching me, I'm
like
okay
the
with
last
that.
time you were at home playing Senran Kagura.
I was casting it.
What-
Chris Davis.
what-
You were casting it and your wife walked in on you as
Wouldn't
you
that
were
be funny if-
shoving a sushi roll up her butt.
No, that's not what happened. She walked in when they were all naked in the hot tub.
Bernadette
Oh.
walks in while you're alone, not casting, and you're like, I swear this is not what it looks like.
Do they have an option for a one-handed control scheme?
There have been games that have done that.
Oh my god.
But anyway, yeah, so I got through the tutorial, and I was just like, man, like, I guess I'll cast this later. So the next time I cast, I'll probably play that.
Sweet.
Yeah, he finished early.
Is this is this the one that has VR support of some kind?
I'm sure they most all do. This is the shooter. It's all like water guns.
Yeah,
it's
of
like
course.
it's like the concept, because I've gone through the tutorial, is the Earth is too hot, and so the girls from the Gaijin, is that what it's called, from the different schools, the different shinobi schools,
yeah.
and the ninja
Gaijin, a
schools.
white guy?
Maybe. What is it called? Someone in chat will know. There's like a G. It's a G word. But yeah, from all the shinobi schools, have to get together, and they have to take part in the PBS, which is the Peach Beach Splash, to help like cool down the world. And so they all have water guns.
Down the world?
Yes, they all have water guns, and they're like attacking people. And their water guns have very low ammo, and so every like 40 seconds, the girl has to crouch down and start pumping up the water gun.
Of course.
And their swimsuits, they come off really easily. Girls, double knots. Just learn how to double knot. They're constantly getting squirted in the back, and then it just comes untied. Double knot, ladies. But anyway,
You heard it here first.
How is the combat?
Mechanically,
is it sound?
It's okay from what I've played so far. Like I said, I've only done the tutorials, so that's why I'm not going to get too much into it, because I don't know. There seems to be some interested, like... there's one scene, Gamerback, where there's two girls standing in a kiddie pool, and one is just spraying the other one in the face, but it's just spurts of water.
No.
Yeah, I swear to fucking God. I swear to fucking God. Nick, you have no idea if you have never played this game. I know you've seen a little bit of footage from me.
I've seen a little bit of Nolan playing Senran Kagura.
The best definition of any Senran Kagura game, big ass anime titties.
Rivia says, at least they're not shooting us in the hair.
Wow.
I'm sorry. That was really funny.
But yes, Nick, big ass anime titties.
Yeah,
That is this game.
That is what I remember. Big ass anime titties.
But I will say, right before I stopped playing the tutorial the other day, there was a message that popped up that mentioned you can go into the menu and the dressing room and change the size of things they're wearing, and I am very excited for that because that was my favorite part of when I played Senran Kagura Shinobi Versus, and so you can fucking look forward to that next time I stream.
Did you get this on Steam?
Yes, I have it on Steam.
You owe it to the American people to play this on the stream.
Xseed sent me a code.
Are you saying
they
nice
always seem to
because
send
you
me
want
codes?
Steam
They always send Nolan codes.
Yes, Gamerback, get ready for some sushi rolls.
Wonderful. This sounds
in inappropriate
fantastic.
places.
The only places they should be.
I got a real quick update of my own. Been playing more Hollow Knight. I beat the Dung Defender.
Nice. Isn't that music so great?
It's so good.
I fucking love the Dung Defender is one of the best bosses just because he's so like exuberant. He's like, ha, and he's like getting into it and stuff. And like,
I walked into an area that, first of all, I didn't realize what I was walking in was dung until I saw that I was fighting the Dung Defender. I was like, oh.
It's all poop.
Oh. Yeah, but like you walk into that one room before you get to the boss room and you hear, oh, and I was like, what the fuck was that noise? Yeah, great boss. And then I have made my way into like 3 new areas, and I keep coming across like I don't. This is not meant to sound negative, but I'm just gonna use the word shitty. The shittiest platforming sequences, and I just keep like getting frustrated, and then trying to go find another area to like alleviate my frustration. I'm in the Crystal Peak.
Yep.
Area, the area with all those things that keep coming down, smashing. Right? I can't do it, man. I can't fucking do it. I can't time it right. It's driving me fucking bonkers.
Sorry, Nick.
What?
No, you can't get through it.
Oh.
It sucks.
And then I started going down to the royal waterways, and I don't know. I'm unlocking all this cool shit. I got the lantern. This game's a fucking delight.
It is.
I love this game, but I also fucking hate some of the platforming sequences in this game. They drive me up the fucking wall.
Yeah.
But that game is still dope. I'm going to try and finish that game before Ni no Kuni next week.
Wait, Ni no Kuni's next week?
On Friday, actually.
Fucking damn it. I forgot.
Yeah, next week is really busy.
Yeah.
Wait, what all comes out next week?
Well, A Way Out and Ni no Kuni 2 come out on the same
God
day.
of War, right?
No, God of War is April.
Yeah.
Okay.
Far Cry 5 comes out the following Tuesday.
Yeah.
Because
But
only
next
2
week
games.
There's
Only 2 games.
and there's an Attack on Titan game that I'm going to pick up.
Yeah, that is next
It
week.
sucks because
God,
none of these things are coming out before the podcast.
Yeah, they're all on Friday.
The day after the podcast.
Yeah.
Woo! But I can promise you the podcast after next week's podcast will have a lot of new, exciting stuff to talk about. A Way Out, Ni no Kuni 2, Far Cry 5. Ton of stuff to talk about. But yeah, that's where I am with Hollow Knight. I'm going to try and finish it before Ni no Kuni 2. I don't know if that's really going to happen because I tend to get like stuck in fucking areas in that game for a period of time.
Oh, sorry. Wait,
Oh,
we were
shit.
talking about good games.
Sea of Thieves comes out next week? I don't know.
Yeah.
I'm going to wait and see what the reception is like
I've
on
been
that.
watching videos of this game, and I'm not getting like the overall like.
Nobody knows
draw of
what the
it?
fuck the game
No
is
one does.
exactly. But, this could be one of those things where it comes out, people play it, and they're like, oh, that's what this is. And suddenly it clicks. And
It looks just to be like a playground game where you hook up with friends and just do shit.
That's all I've seen so far.
Yeah.
And that does not impress
That's
me.
kind of hookup.
Not that kind.
Oh,
Like the only AI enemies I've seen are like skeletons.
yeah.
Correct.
I don't know. Oh, the sharks. We've seen the sharks before.
Eh.
I don't know. It could be cool. I'm gonna wait and see what people say about it. It definitely. I love it the way the game looks aesthetically. So, and it looks kind of fun. I don't know if it has a point to it, then maybe we'll give it a try. Anyway, are there any other quick updates y'all have?
That's all I got.
I've been. I actually played and beat this week Uncharted Lost Legacy.
Oh,
Nice.
That's a damn fine
It's a
Uncharted
good game.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I think that actually has some of the best just tomb exploration.
Oh, dude, some of the
stuff
fucking
in it.
puzzles in that game are great.
The puzzles were really good.
Did you do all of them? There's
I-
12 in that open area. Did you?
Yeah,
do all?
I
Okay,
did
okay.
all those.
The
Yeah.
reward
I got
you
the
get
Ruby Heart.
shitty. That's a shitty reward.
Yeah.
But all the puzzles to get to that reward.
There's some cool stuff.
Yeah.
I don't know if y'all spent much time with it, but unlocking they unlock some extra special features when you finish the game, whatever, including a bunch of filters you can put
Yeah,
over
the
the
filters
game.
are cool.
There's some really
There's
cool
20
filters.
of them.
There's one that makes the whole game look cel shaded.
Yeah, that
Yeah.
one is cool.
Or like an 8-bit or
Oh,
an ASCII
no.
game.
Butter's got a toy that's not very good for the podcast.
Oh no.
Yes.
Oh my god. Real quick. Oh my god. This is fantastic.
Yeah,
This is going to sound so good on the audio.
We're gonna take a quick break.
We'll come back. We'll talk more about what I've been playing.
we'll get more updates from Chris Davis. We're also going to talk about the newly announced Tomb Raider game.
Yeah.
And there's a few other news topics that are worthy of discussion. So, and of course, we'll answer questions from our supporters on Patreon when we come back from this short break. So if you're watching us live, don't go anywhere. We'll be right back. Yes. Are you ready?
Yeah.
Welcome back to the show, everybody. We were interrupted at the end of the last segment because Butters decided to bring in a very loud toy. Chris Davis, you were talking about Uncharted Lost Legacy.
Yes, I was.
Did you enjoy your time with the game?
I mean, there's never been a bad Uncharted experience.
That is true.
Golden Circle.
I mean, I didn't have that was a Vita, or was that a
That was
Vita?
a Vita launch
I never had a
title,
Vita.
I played that.
So-
I played that game. That game was not great.
but it wasn't that good.
There's never
You
been-
said there's never been a bad Uncharted game.
He
What
said
you should've-
experience.
Experience. What you should have said is, I've never had a bad Uncharted experience.
I remember that
Chris-
game getting decent reviews, not the
Crispy-
best.
Yeah, it's It's subpar.
We're off topic.
6.
Off topic.
We're off topic.
Sorry, but
Yeah.
Lost Legacy.
It was pretty good. It did really feel like a $40 game. In
You
which
think so? Because I feel like that was like probably one of the most beautiful.
No, it was gorgeous. Yes, don't get me wrong, but it felt like there were recycled assets everywhere.
Probably so, but
From,
I mean, at the same
from like
time,
the chases with the fucking train to like the open hub environment.
that chain,
No.
that train sequence.
They might have reused some trees, but that area was completely new.
No, it was completely new. No, I'm saying like the visuals of like the foliage and the trees.
There's
and the,
definitely assets.
How are they gonna make new foliage for a fucking standalone? Like, no, why would they make new foliage? That makes no logical sense. You just take the foliage you have and rearrange it.
Especially if you're not committed to quality.
wow.
But you know what? That
Chris,
They're gonna be fighting.
with that said,
I'm joking.
I think the train sequence in Lost Legacy is probably better than the train sequence in Uncharted.
No,
2.
it felt really good. It felt like a next generation take on that.
That was so fucking.
Yes, I agree.
like when you're jumping off the train onto cars and then driving along the tracks
you're going
to jump
back,
back
and forth
on the
between
train.
Yeah, that whole thing.
Like
is,
going back for 3 or 4 times is great.
also, those two, Chloe and Nadine carried that game beautifully.
They have very good charisma together.
Yeah. I did not miss having Nathan Drake in that game.
So
at all.
I was excited for Chloe because we hadn't seen her in a while.
Yeah, for sure.
Nadine, I don't think I saw enough of her in Uncharted 4 that I was excited about her, but they fleshed out her character quite well in this game, and I by the end of it, they were I would not mind another Chloe and Nadine standalone.
absolutely.
Like after playing Lost Legacy, you can go back and play Uncharted 4 and have a better appreciation for that character.
For sure. And just her, they had really good chemistry.
No, definitely.
Just as good as
Especially because they were
Yeah.
coming from different places. Like it's one of those things where any Uncharted game or any Naughty Dog game, you could say, does, where the characters
Actually,
you can see their motivations, you can see why they're doing what they're doing, why they think what they think, and how their thoughts and opinions on things evolve as the game goes on.
Yeah,
and
yeah,
why
sure.
and I think they just do such a fucking good job of that.
Yeah, I mean, when you think about it, their stories across all their games are so strong because on almost every one that I'm thinking of, like all the Uncharted games, whether it's Nathan and Elena or Nathan and
Sully.
Sully and Nathan and what's his,
Sam.
and then we have Joel and Ellie in The Last of Us. Like it's all about like two characters from completely different places coming together to achieve a common goal, which I mean, it's probably a fairly common story trope, but like that's kind of what they use in all of their.
And that's their
story
bread
games.
and butter.
That's their bread and butter.
There
So
are
good.
some
So
there are
good.
some wonderful moments in there, like the elephant.
Oh, the elephant. Oh,
That is,
fucking love
it's
the
such a
elephant
slow moment, but it's really nice.
Got some good.
It felt like the end of The Last of Us. Really,
I got some good
You,
clips out of
you
that
feel
one.
like you
With the
redeemed yourself
giraffes.
after murdering all the bison in Red Dead Redemption.
I mean, that's not me. That's y'all,
The look on
you psychos.
Chris Davis refused to kill all the bison in Red Dead Redemption.
Chris Davis, you realize they're not real.
Doesn't matter. There's some things you just don't morally
well,
do.
if Westworld's taught us anything, it's that is a shady argument at best.
Whatever.
Fair
Also,
enough.
puzzle
What if the
design,
video game bison becomes sentient?
Okay, sure, yeah. The puzzle design was really good.
Yeah, Puzzle Island's great.
The early ones where you had to do like the steps to avoid like the statues hitting you, I think that was my favorite part.
That's pretty cool.
Those were cool.
Yeah, and just the setup for like some of the later like temples where you're climbing this giant statue of Shiva,
They're
and
super
you're
elaborate.
manipulating the arms and the water and the flow of
Oh, no,
everything.
yeah.
I mean, that was fucking great.
It felt like a proper, like similar to Left Behind, a proper standalone version of like just a small, almost like a hidden chapter of the game you just played.
But like also like I spent 12 hours in the
oh
Lost
no,
Legacy.
it's not like a little thing. Sorry, yes, Left Behind's like what 3-4 hours.
Yeah,
it's
it's
pretty
it's
small.
brief.
No,
This is
Legacy,
about 2/3 of Uncharted 4.
Lost
basically.
Legacy is a good chunk of gameplay, and
I would even go as far as to say I like it more than I think I probably like it more than Uncharted 1 and 3.
Nicholas.
Maybe. I don't know. I haven't played 3 in a while. It's
I
hard.
also found it kind of interesting that they kind of turned the in-game formula on its head, because in the first 4 games, they find the item, the MacGuffin that they've been going for the entire time, and you fight a boss and the game kind of just ends. But in this, they find the thing and the game continues on from there.
Mm-hmm.
Oh yeah,
That felt kind of like
true.
It felt pretty nice.
Yeah, it definitely feels like it stands out versus a lot of the other ones they've done. So
And
I don't know.
the credits rolled, and I saw that it has a survival mode.
Mm-hmm.
Like it's just horde mode, I guess. Like I don't think the shooting in Uncharted is good enough to warrant playing that.
I've never been that's
It's
I said that for a long time. Like one of the reasons why I was kind of like hesitant to play or to get like excited for like Uncharted 4 was because I've never been a huge fan of the combat and the gunplay. But I think Uncharted 4 improved the gunplay just enough that it was fun. I don't know.
Yeah.
I enjoyed it way more. So I don't know.
it was fun.
It's cool you played it.
and,
That game
and thank you
is-
for letting me borrow it.
Not a problem.
That game definitely deserves to be played.
Hey,
anything else?
Krispy,
What's up?
you should play an Uncharted game, like any of them.
Should I? I've never heard of it.
Yeah.
Was it good?
I meant to tell you the other day, the Nathan Drake collection. Did you buy that a while back? Dude, it was on
I
sale.
borrowed it from you.
It was on. Oh, you did? Oh, okay.
Yeah,
Did you
for
play
a
it?
while.
It was on sale on PSN for like super fucking cheap, and I
Was
meant to
it?
tell you about it. So, I'm talking like it was like $5,
I would have definitely bought
and I
that.
meant to tell you about it, and I forgot. I doubt it's still on sale. I can double check while I'm thinking about it. But yeah,
It's yeah, yeah. It's a
Well,
bucket
you're-
list.
While
It's
you're
a bucket
looking
list
into
item.
that,
I also have been.
stop it.
It's been spring break.
I'm gonna
and
stop you.
You know what I'm gonna say? I've been
Stop.
playing a lot of Metal Gear Survive.
Stop it.
I've actually beaten both of the post game bosses now, and they added new content this week. They added a rescue mission you can do, in which you and your 3 co-op players you go and you rescue guys that spawn on the map, and you take them to the extraction point.
Stop it.
And it is insanely hard, but so much fun. Because it's just throwing waves.
I cannot
and
believe
waves
you're
and
still
waves
playing
of
this
zombies.
game, Chris Davis.
Because it's fun and it keeps giving you shit to do and shit to build.
It's not on sale anymore.
That's
Shit.
unfortunate.
Like, I just completed a base digging sequence today, and I got the ability to build a fucking hydroponics farm.
When are we going to talk about good games? What?
Wait,
What's up?
hydroponics farm. Wait, what? What is that? What?
That's for growing dank weed.
That's what I thought.
Yeah.
Okay, just
Like,
making
I
sure.
can grow medicine and food at the same time.
You know what I'm saying?
Medicine.
That
Medicine.
good medicine. Smoke up.
I mean, that
The
blue
devil's
crescents,
lettuce.
yeah, kind of.
Smoke weed quite often.
I'll just come out and say it because Game Rebecca is eventually going to look at my Steam profile and confirm it. But I passed the 100-hour mark in it.
In Metal Gear Survive, you put 100 hours into Metal Gear Survive.
Yes,
What the fuck?
He is on spring break right now.
I am on spring break.
Not only does he put 100 hours into Metal Gear Survive, he's choosing to spend his spring break with Metal Gear Survive.
What else is there to play right now other than Into
You
the
just
Breach?
sold me a copy of Monster Hunter World.
I don't want to play that.
Thank you. I'm glad you don't.
I
Now
want to
have
play it on PC, but it's not out on PC. So,
I mean,
what else do I have to play?
Yeah, you could have played Yakuza 0.
I'm not
no.
playing that.
We're
just
not
to
opening this
We're
can
not
of
doing
worms
that again. We're not doing it again.
Dude, you realize you could have played Yakuza 0 and still played another 40 hours of Metal Gear Survive?
I've got you.
fucking asshole.
I've got Yakuza 6 on the way.
you piece of
I'm
shit.
gonna get Yakuza 6. It's already
You
pre-ordered.
is anybody else
piece
here going to pick up Yakuza 6 at launch?
shit.
I'm getting the collector's edition too.
Does that come with the game?
It actually does come with the game and like the
It
whiskey
comes with the
tumblers.
glass? I'm
And
gonna-
some used panties.
What?
Oh god.
Whoa.
Whoa.
I think that's our cue to move on to news.
Yeah.
News!
Used for what?
There's been some news. I'm going to save the Tomb Raider thing for last. We're going to move through the other ones fairly quickly. You just pick one. Oh,
Is
yay.
that one?
All right. This is
Okay.
cool. Wait. What?
Why? Why are we talking?
You don't want to talk about Jeff Goldblum?
In a movie?
No, the
On our
game.
video game? Oh, on the...
Yeah.
Jeff Goldblum's going to be in that new Jurassic World Evolution game.
Oh, that mobile game that's coming out?
No.
Well,
No,
there it is.
like the roller coaster tycoon game, but where you
The
build
park
Jurassic
builder
Park.
from Frontier, the team that made Planet Coaster, which is a really good park building game.
Okay.
It's
I want
Jeff
every
Goldblum.
time you build something in this thing, I want Jeff Goldblum to say, "Well, there it is."
Dude,
He might.
Dude,
he fucking might.
Jeff Goldblum is going to be the voice that like guides you through the entire game.
That's actually kind of cool.
I was kind of like not interested in this game like on any like serious level, but like I'm kind of excited for it now.
I feel like they're not even going to give him the script with lines to say. They're just going to put up a feed of gameplay going on, and he's just going to fucking narrate.
Yeah, dude, that'd be great. I would play the shit out of that.
And that would be his Tuesday night.
Dude, Jeff, fuck it. You laugh, Crispy. You laugh, but this sounds really cool.
You know he has to do the laugh somewhere in there. That's going to be in there.
Is that your best Jeff Goldblum thing? Yeah.
That's him from the helicopter in Jurassic Park.
Yeah, that's pretty good. Yeah, that was pretty good. Anyways, there's not really a whole lot to add there, but yeah. If you were at all excited for Jurassic World Evolution, I think there's reason to be more excited now.
I would just like to see some fucking gameplay by
Yeah,
now.
I want to see
The
how
game's out in June.
Dude, that game's... You can't even find that game on Amazon.
Wait, which game?
Jurassic World Evolution. I looked for it on Amazon. Not even listed.
Yeah.
What game? Kingdom Hearts 3 is listed in Amazon. Why the fuck?
I mean, Kingdom Hearts 3, you know,
Final Fantasy 7 Remake is listed on Amazon.
Yeah, but you can have a game that's just announced and is 5 years out, and you can
I'm just
get
saying,
all those pre-order
It's
money.
rather strange. That thing should be up for pre-order.
They don't charge
on
you till
Amazon.
it ships, so they aren't getting any money.
No, but they get, you know, discounts on bulk when they ingest it from the publisher.
Isn't Jurassic World Evolution Microsoft exclusive?
No, it's coming out on PS4.
Oh, is it?
Yep.
Yeah.
Oh,
All
good.
platforms.
I thought for sure it was going to be canceled. This is Microsoft.
Cancels all their games.
Yeah.
Yeah,
That's the joke.
guys. It was pretty funny.
You're off.
Okay.
You're off your game.
It
tonight.
was pretty good.
Okay, fine. It's pretty good. All right. Next news. Let's see what we have. Oh yeah. So Arkane has started. This is really strange. Arkane has started teasing the DLC for Prey. Right. They posted this big picture of them, you know, doing the whole stupid like eye thing, right? Whatever.
Yeah.
But there's like a sign on it that says June 18th or whatever, which is when the Bethesda press conference is at E3. That's 4 months away. Or 3 months away, and they're already teasing it. I don't know. It seems like a little early to be teasing it.
This could be a
Reveal?
Fallout Shelter thing. We're releasing it right
Yeah,
now.
no, I wouldn't be surprised if they announced it and then released it.
I think I'd be willing to bet that's what's going to happen because you don't really. I mean, we've known this DLC was going to happen, but we didn't have any details about it, and they're starting to tease it really early. So yeah, I would bet this is like you said,
Like some of the
they're going to announce like this is what it is. You play it right now.
Some of the speculation right now is that there's a base on the moon you go to.
It takes place on the moon is the rumor.
But aren't there wizards there?
Yes, there are in fact
It's
wizards.
from the other side, the dark side of the moon.
I'm actually pretty excited to go back and play some more Prey. I hope it looks good. Although, yeah, it's kind of sad because, like, you know, we talked about Prey. I don't think Prey as a property and as a product was particularly successful.
It was not as
For them?
successful as it should have been.
So it's
Yeah,
like
it deserved
we're going to
better.
get DLC for it, but, like, is that going to be it? Like, they're continuing to support the game with some DLC, but that's not going to tip the scales in its favor and make it, like, a success. So, like, there's not... I think the buck is going to kind of stop with Prey 1. I don't think we're going to see a sequel to Prey, at least not anytime soon. So, anyways.
Nick, you son of a bitch. Why would you put that evil on me? Why would you take away Prey 2 again?
That's a good point.
Why would you do that?
Because he's Nick Henderson.
What if they
he
called it...
laughs when
What
you
if
cry.
What if they did make a sequel to Prey and it was called Prey 2?
It's probably going to be called Prey 2.
It should be called Prey Tell.
Get the fuck over it.
What if it
Accept it. Move on with your
What
lives.
if they announce Prey 2 and it's the Prey 2 that we saw?
No, it's not.
I would
Shut
give
up.
them all my money.
Yeah,
I would-
It's a remake of the other Prey, and it's called Prey, TOO.
Prey 2.
Motherfucker! Fuck you guys.
Crispy, we've been waiting for you to say something funny. Is it?
Yes.
That's it.
You've let us down
I'm
tonight.
done. I'm done.
Usually
I'm
you're
tapping
really
out.
funny. What's up with
Wow.
this?
Good night,
Done.
Crispy.
Get out
Good
of
night,
here.
guys.
Come back when you're
I
funny.
need some sleep.
Come back with your...
I'm just kidding. Why? No.
Oh, God.
He's
Crispy,
leaving.
if you look in the bottom drawer in my kitchen, there's some jokes in there. Can you bring those back?
Is he coming back?
No, he's.
Well,
I don't know
Butters
now.
is coming back.
Butters
so-
is coming back. I don't know.
Butters, hop
oh,
up
there
there.
he is.
Come on, Crispy.
Come on back
down.
in here, Krispy. All right, what's the next news topic?
The next news topic is.
All right, so I was kind
This
of
kind of came out of nowhere.
yeah. So
Actually, not really.
Go fuck yourself. It came out of nowhere.
it kind of sucks because Brad's not here to talk about this, and he's the only person here that really plays fighting games in it regularly, I guess.
Correct.
Soul Calibur 6, we have our first confirmed crossover character. You know, because Soul Calibur always does this. Geralt of Rivia from the Witcher series is confirmed for Soul Calibur 6.
Interesting.
Interesting choice. I guess that's one of the things people have been asking about.
I mean, they've had
while.
guest characters since like two,
every
right?
every
Oh, no, they
every
always
game has
have,
guest
yeah.
characters. I wasn't necessarily expecting Geralt. I think it's actually a pretty good choice, pretty inspired choice. I saw some people in chat or in Discord talking about it earlier, and there were some cool ideas being thrown around. I think Brad even said something about what if he uses a different sword depending on what kind of character he's fighting.
Yeah, if whether
If he's
they're
fighting
like
like a
human
monster
or
character,
monster,
he pulls up
yeah,
the
yeah.
silver sword.
Or what if he like uses potions mid battle to gain different abilities?
There's a lot of possibilities. It's a very dynamic character. I think there could be
Can use some signs.
there could be some
Yeah.
some
Well, they
signs.
specifically called out his switching of swords and his use of signs. They didn't mention anything about like potions or oils or anything.
Mm-hmm.
It's not it's not too late. I mean, anything could happen at this point. I think it's a pretty cool choice. The sad
Do you
thing
think
is,
he could convince them to not fight him and then fuck him?
maybe
Because that sounds like something Geralt would do.
Yeah, he
It
goes up
does.
against Mitsurugi,
Yeah. And he uses his
wheels out his fake unicorn.
works out. Oh shit! What if they incorporate the fake unicorn into his?
I don't think they would.
It'd be so
But Kaer Morhen's
funny.
gonna be a map. In
Really?
Soul yeah, it's Geralt and a Kaer Morhen
Kaer Morhen.
stage.
Well, that's probably as good.
That
as
sounds
you
cool. That seems like a pretty good fit. I think. The sad thing is, for me personally, I as cool as this sounds, I probably still will never play Soul Calibur 6. I'm sure Brad will play a shit ton of it, and he'll talk about it on the show.
Yeah.
But yeah, Geralt of Rivia are they still doing the thing where it's like each platform gets its own unique character?
I don't think so.
Because if that's the case, I'm wondering if Geralt is like exclusive to Xbox or
I don't think so.
PlayStation.
No,
We don't do that.
They haven't
anymore?
done that in a while.
no.
This isn't 2004, Nick.
Fine.
Was it 4 that they had Yoda for Xbox?
Oh,
no,
Jesus
that
Christ.
was Soul Calibur 2, wasn't it?
No,
No,
2
that was
had
not 2.
Spawn, Link, and what's his
Hayachi.
name from Tekken?
Yeah.
So yeah, maybe it was Soul
Hayachi.
Calibur 4 that had Yoda. I
Yeah.
don't remember.
4 had Yoda and Darth Vader, and 5 had
5 was exclusive though to the PS3.
That's right. But who was the special character in 5? It had to be a Sony character.
I don't even know if it had any.
really.
No, it did. I can't remember what.
I don't know. Whatever.
All right. Anyway.
Anyways, moving on.
Moving on.
Soul
Ezio.
Calibur 6.
Yeah.
All right.
This one?
Yeah, this is kind of for you, Chris Davis.
Yes, it is.
Splinter
Well,
Cell 2018 listing appeared on Amazon.
so there's been rumors for fucking years about the next
Obviously.
Splinter Cell.
For sure.
Like,
I mean,
there
it's an eventual inevitability.
Mm-hmm.
It's gonna
I
happen.
don't know. I don't know if it's an inevitability because Blacklist, really good game, undersold, and they were trying to push that pretty hard last time back in 2013.
Mm-hmm.
There's been rumors for years that have said, like, for example, Michael Ironside's coming back, and that they're going back to the more traditional first 3 games in their structure with the stealth.
I did like
I think
those
Splinter
games.
Cell is most interesting when it diverges from classic Splinter Cell. Not to like harp on classic Splinter Cell. I know there's a lot of love out there for Splinter Cell, the original, and Chaos Theory and Pandora's Tomorrow. Those are great games.
Yeah,
In fact, they're games that I wish I had spent more time with.
like the
but
first, like the first one in Pandora Tomorrow, they haven't aged that well.
Sure, but like I loved Double Agent because of the stuff they did with it. That was like a departure for it. It was different, and like the playing both sides thing was really cool.
Well, I tell you what, if you really like Double Agent, you should play the last gen version of Double Agent, because it's essentially
Last gen version. What do you mean?
yeah, it's completely different. It's the same storyline,
Wait, but define last gen.
like the Xbox and PS2,
Oh, okay.
because they did release that. Because the
What are-
360 was like the lead version,
Yeah, I played it on the 360.
but the old version, the last gen version, that was basically built within Chaos Theory. So it's essentially Chaos Theory 2.
Interesting.
in structure and how they do the level design and everything. It's really cool.
Interesting. I love Double Agent. The one I played was 360, and I loved Blacklist. Also did some interesting things and was a departure for the series as well.
Yeah.
I would be willing to bet. I'm going to say it right here. I'm placing the hot dog bet.
Hot dog bet.
Hot dog bet. First one of 2018 happening right now.
Okay.
E3 2018 at the... I'm going to say Microsoft conference.
Yeah, I'll be Microsoft.
Splinter Cell 2018, whatever it's called, is going to be announced, and it's going to be Michael Ironside is back. That's going to be
God, I fucking hope so.
That's going to be like front. That's going to be their like. That's how they're going to rope people into playing. Back into Splinter Cell.
They're gonna show the 3 lights of his night vision goggles. The lights will go down.
Goggles,
The tri-goggles will glow up. They'll wheel Michael Ironside out in a wheelchair. He's back.
Yeah, I'd be fine with that, honestly.
I don't want to get into this because I always get into arguments with people in Discord about Michael Ironside or whatever. I don't think it matters that much. But hey, if that's what it takes to get people into Splinter Cell again, I fucking loved Blacklist. I loved that game so much.
Hey, you know what, Nick? Michael Ironside
is great.
Was great in
Total Recall.
No, shut your mouth.
Starship Troopers.
No, new.
Turbo Kid.
Turbo Kid.
Yeah.
Michael Ironside was great in Turbo Kid.
Turbo Kid was a good movie.
Yeah. I'm not saying he's not great.
He's gotten quite old.
I don't care. I don't care what if this is what they have to do to get people interested in Splinter Cell again, then so be it. Bring back Michael Ironside. I don't think it fucking matters that much.
Wouldn't that be hilarious?
Blacklist was a fucking fantastic game even without him.
Wouldn't it be hilarious if in the new Splinter Cell, Sam Fisher was voiced by Kiefer Sutherland?
God help us.
Oh, God.
Like, they pay him by the word, then they can't afford him otherwise.
I think Kiefer Sutherland did fine, but he didn't have many lines because they couldn't afford it, right?
Yeah.
That's kind of the
Correct.
consensus, right?
Yes.
His actual voice acting was... I mean, it didn't sound like...
We could afford to give him like 15 lines in all of Metal Gear Solid 5 and have him do promotional work for it. Or we could have him do full dialogue and he's not in any of the promotional material. I bet that was how the budget ran out.
Probably.
Potentially, yeah. But yeah, anyways, I'm saying right here, hot dog bet. It'll even be one of those fancy hot dogs.
Like a Pink's dog?
No. The
Or
one
the
we went to
Doghouse?
last year.
Was it Doghouse?
Those
or
ones that are made of dog?
Verskoosh?
Yeah, Verskoosh hot dog.
Dude.
Well, actually, what am I saying?
Those were artisanal sausages,
Yeah.
They're pretty good.
Nick. Okay.
All right, I'm making an artisanal sausage bet right now. E3 2018, Splinter Cell. I don't know what the title's gonna be, but it's gonna have Michael Ironside back, and that's gonna be like one of their. I bet they're gonna close with that shit or open with it. Who the fuck knows?
No, they'll close.
So it'll be called
They'll open with Black Ops 4.
Splinter Cell Mitochondria.
something like that.
I don't get it.
Nick, how do you not get it? Did you not go to school?
No, Oh, I get it now. I'm sorry.
Okay.
Biology.
I get it. Woo! Makes sense. Cells. We're talking. Okay, gotcha. Good. Go get a new joke out of the kitchen.
Yeah.
Nolan.
Go. All right.
And I guess this last one.
Yeah, last one. And again, okay. I don't know how many of you here are Tomb Raider fans. Nolan said you played the 2013 one.
I have not played. What was the second one?
Rise of the Tomb Raider.
I've not played that.
That was the Xbox
I have
One
it.
exclusive.
I have it.
But you don't have an Xbox One anymore.
No, it came out on PC.
Oh, okay.
I have it on PC. I just haven't played it yet.
You know what? You should.
No, I want to. There's Nick. The list of games that I need to play.
I'm aware.
Is ever growing.
Just saying. You should.
I beat Legend. I beat the 2013 game, and I beat Rise.
Those are the three you've played? The two reboots and Legend?
Yeah.
Interesting.
Like, I have played one other Tomb Raider game, which I don't want to talk about.
Wait, you don't want to talk about?
No, because it's called The Angel of Darkness.
You've played Angel of Darkness?
Jesus
for an
Christ.
hour.
Man, I made it 10 minutes in that game, and I took it back.
That was amazing.
Those were back in the Blockbuster days, though. I rented that game, and I tried it for about an hour, less than an hour, and then I took it back. So, yeah. Anyways, I just thought it was kind of a strange one. Like, if you played one of the classic Tomb Raider, or not, like pre-reboot Tomb Raiders,
Pre-boot?
legend.
Like
Underworld, I think, is one that is definitely worth playing. Underworld's fantastic.
like the first 5 games, like before Angel of Darkness, like the PS1 games.
No, I was saying anything prior to the reboots.
Okay, so Legend, Underworld, and
Tomb Raider 1, 2, 3, whatever. You know,
I can't go back and play.
there's
the PS1
actually a lot of
classics. I can't.
fucking Tomb Raider games. The point is, this has been rumored and there's been several leaks. In fact, remember a few months ago there was a thing about like a developer left something on a bus somewhere. Like,
I think I do remember that.
Like I forgot whether it was like a laptop or something or like a file, but it had it was like a file with like Shadow of the Tomb Raider stuff all over
it was. Yeah,
and that was the first leak or whatever. So we've known.
Well, no, actually, like 4 or 5 months after Rise came out, there was like a big ass like portfolio leak. For,
I think that's what I'm talking
yeah.
about.
No, I thought it was something else.
Somebody left it on a bus.
We don't need to get into
whatever.
the
point
speculation of what
we've
we
known
remember.
this game. We've known the title of this game for a long time.
Yeah.
It's finally confirmed. They announced Shadow of the Tomb Raider was that today? Yeah.
Yeah, I think
today.
So. Yeah.
Formally today.
They've confirmed it. They released a 25-second teaser trailer for Shadow of the Tomb Raider. And they've confirmed that it comes out September 14th, 2018, so it's coming actually pretty soon. It no longer has the exclusive Microsoft contract or the the timed exclusivity.
Yeah.
So it is available on PS4, Xbox One, and PC. I think PC at launch.
Probably.
But they said more details are coming on the 27th. So I guess that's when we'll get a full
April 27th.
Sorry, April 27th. So we'll get a full breakdown of what the game actually is, and I'm sure a full trailer. But right now, it's kind of like the trailer doesn't reveal much about the game. It shows
was a cinematic trailer.
Cinematic trailer. It shows her standing in front of this like it looks kind of like it's in South America, like because there's like a Mayan temple.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, Mexico maybe.
Yeah. So there's that it could go any number of directions from that. Like beyond that, we don't really know much. This is supposed to be I think it's funny, the concluding chapter of her origin. So this is a direct follow-up, obviously, to Rise of the Tomb Raider, and they're still continuing on with like Lara before she was like the Tomb Raider or however you want to describe it. But I just kind of want to know what. Well, I don't know how excited y'all are for this. I want to know what y'all want from this game. What because like some of you guys tombs are good.
I want them to take a good long look at how they did the tombs in Uncharted. And say, hey, let's build on
Lost
this.
Legacy.
Oh yeah.
Honestly, I feel like chapter 4, chapter 5, whatever in Lost Legacy, the one where it was big and open.
Yes.
I feel like that is kind of like a small scale model of what they should do with Tomb Raider. The new Tomb Raider. Like,
give me some big ass anime tombs.
Give it.
That's what I want.
You know what?
Just tombs to.
I don't know if y'all remember before the
and...
reboot of the Tomb Raider was announced. There was kind of some leaked stuff happening there too, and not a lot. Some of that stuff never came to pass. In fact, there was a lot of rumors prior to that game being announced that people thought it was going to be like a big open world, or maybe more like the original Dark Souls, where it's like a bunch of areas that are connected in one seamless area, and that stuff kind of never came to pass, and we ended up with these kind of linear games with just a few like smaller open areas sprinkled throughout.
Rise was better about that.
Yeah, but the Rise is still a pretty linear game.
Yeah, but it had the valley in which that was a very large area
with the village of people. Yeah.
So I mean, they made a step in that direction.
I'm not saying there are not moments where like that openness comes through, but like I think ultimately those games ended up being way more linear than I was hoping for, and especially after playing Lost Legacy and seeing how they handled that open area, I'm like, that's kind of what this game needs to be, but on a much bigger scale. Especially if this is going to be like the concluding chapter of a trilogy of games, I feel like that's the perfect opportunity for them to take some risks and make something like worthy of the conclusion. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
I think if we end up with another linear Lara Croft Tomb Raider origin story, it's just going to be kind of forgettable. You know what I mean?
Maybe. I mean, Nick, I think it's a scenario where it just depends on how they do it. I think you can take any game, and as long as you have a good story and good gameplay, it can
And I will
still
say
be
this:
good.
I think the story, or at least Lara Croft's journey, has been interesting.
Mm-hmm.
Kind of the overarching stories that like the stuff she's been trying to hunt down and how that stuff kind of plays out was, I don't want to say forgettable. It was just, I don't know. It wasn't the most inspired,
Yeah.
but like her actual journey and like seeing how she goes from being, I think they have delivered on the whole like, trajectory of her character being like, kind of weak and unfamiliar with how to survive in the wild, and then kind of transforming into this Tomb Raider-esque character. I think has been pretty cool to watch. But man, I think they need to do something really different in this game to have the whole thing stand out and not be completely forgettable.
We'll have to see.
Brad actually wanted me to read some thoughts on this.
Hurry
'cause
up,
Brad's
Nick.
not here. He said, you can make modern Tomb Raider a hell of a lot more interesting if they connected the spaces into one seamless world, which I mentioned, and leaned into the Metroid elements.
Sure.
That is definitely...
Sure.
We all love Metroidvanias here, so they definitely could...
And again, with the world structure of Rise, they kind of went in that direction.
They did, but they just need to take it further.
Yeah.
They need to expand on it even more. And then he said, and this is the key, introduce some sort of interesting means of getting around. Classic Tomb Raider had vehicles, and they were awesome tools. Vehicles should be treated as a way to make a big space feel more manageable. Think Venice from Tomb Raider 2. I remember Venice from Tomb Raider 2 because of that exact reason. The traversal and everything was great. And there hasn't really been much emphasis on... There hasn't been any traversal means in the reboot games at all. So,
I mean, there was a fast travel system, but that's about it.
yeah. And he says, the last thing he says, I think these things are a natural evolution of what they are doing now, so it's not hard to believe. Do that, and I'll forgive the boring story, Lara, and uninspired upgrade stuff. Yeah. So that's Brad's thoughts. He wanted me to read those. So
And
we'll leave it at that. We'll know more about the game in April, at the end of April. I think it's kind of weird that they... And I know they wanted to get something out before the movie comes out.
That's
comes
the
out
only
tomorrow.
reason. They're just trying to
In fact,
tie
they're
it in,
playing this
yeah.
teaser before the
I mean,
movie.
if you have your own damn movie, you might as well promote your new game along with it.
Yeah, absolutely. I mean, that totally makes sense. But
And actually, technically, maybe, rumor has it, new games. Because there's a rumor going around that there is a Upport developer that is working on a remaster of the first 3 games.
oh,
Wow.
like a are we talking about like a Crash Bandicoot style remaster?
Possibly. Something like that.
That could be cool. I mean, Tomb Raider 1, 2, and 3 are great games, but they're kind of hard to go back to at this point. So
Yeah, they are.
I would
Kinda?
sorry, yes, they're very hard to go back to. I would gladly jump at the opportunity to go back and play those games again because I have some fond memories of them, but I'm not going to go back and play the PS1
Just
games.
as long as it's not another Chrono Trigger mobile port bullshit.
Yeah.
Oh my god.
That shit's annoying. But anyways, yeah, so Shadow of the Tomb Raider is official, comes out September 14th. I'll be playing the shit out of it, I'm sure. We'll talk about it more next month when we have more details
Probably.
to talk about. All right, so that's it for news. So, Nolan, are you ready? I don't know if we got more. We may have got more questions. In
I
the
don't
last
think we had
hour
any
or so.
more. I checked maybe like 10 minutes ago.
I will double check.
We got one hour ago, 2 hours ago. So yeah, right when the podcast started, we did get a few come in.
Cool.
Questions from our patrons, our lovely patrons out
Hell yes,
there. Every week we post a thread on Patreon.
we do.
Anybody,
Usually the day of or the day before.
anybody who donates at least or pledges $1 or more a month can go in there and ask us any question they want. Like this question from Necro Techno. I'm going to be moving from Australia to England in a few months.
Damn.
Oh damn.
There's a ton to do,
That's
but
not
I'm
down the
very
street.
excited about it. Well, I mean, it's one funny accent to another funny accent. Have any of you made extreme changes to your life? How do you feel about those changes now?
Extreme change. I've never moved to a different country. I think that's pretty.
I mean,
That's pretty extreme.
I don't want to put words in his mouth, but Krispy escaped Florida and is now in Texas.
Yeah. I mean, that's not nearly as big a geographic move as...
I mean, honestly,
geographic,
it's
but,
pretty
like-
big.
But culturally, it might be about the same. I don't know about that. But yeah, that was a really big all of a sudden move. Like, I visited Austin in 2010 and like I was here for 4 days and then I signed a lease. So, yeah.
Damn.
Yeah, I kind of just turned around really quickly on that. And I honestly have never looked back. Florida sucked. Florida really sucked. And Austin, there's some things that we all like to complain about living here, but I mean, God, I would take this any day of the week. I love it here in Austin compared to Florida.
Hell yeah. We're glad that you love it here in Austin.
Yeah. Me too.
Did I ever say thank you for coming here?
Thanks for having me.
You're very welcome. Thanks for being here.
Every which way. I don't think I've made any big life changes to that extent. I mean, I guess getting married, but I mean, honestly, that was not a big change.
I have a fairly big life change coming up.
Robin's pregnant.
No, Robin's moving in. Robin is not pregnant.
Oh, okay. And then, I mean, buying a house. I guess those are, then obviously Butter's here. But no, I don't think any of those are so big that it's just like, it's almost like it's another day in another place, kind of.
Yeah.
Yeah, there's been nothing to that crazy, I guess.
There's no potential culture shock.
Right? Yeah.
If it's something you're excited to do, even if you're nervous to do it, 9 times out of 10, I'd say you're probably not going to regret the decision.
Mm-hmm.
God, that would be a boring System Shock clone.
What?
Culture shock. You're just a tourist coming into town.
Oh God.
Yeah, and I've never moved that far. I mean, right now I'm 2.5 hours from where I was born. I mean, Nick even less.
The farthest I've ever moved
Yeah.
was from Austin to San Marcos for college, and I still worked in Austin when I was living in San Marcos. So, if that tells you anything, that's the farthest I've ever gone.
I mean, I moved from Mobeedi to Austin.
From where?
Mobeedi?
Stop making up words.
You guys probably can't even see Texas flags, can you?
No.
Like, they probably just are, like, blended into,
Yeah.
like, the background noise of your entire life.
Yeah.
Dude, I'm still, like... I
Dude,
still have
Crispy-
days where I'm like, why are there so many Texas flags?
Crispy, when I was in Greece, they showed us, they're like, this is the largest flag in Greece.
Yeah.
And it's about the size of the star on some flags at fucking,
like as big as the TV
dealerships here in
Yeah.
Texas. It's about the size of the star
This
on
is probably a really
those.
dumb question, but I'm also just kind of ignorant to it. All states in the country don't have their own flag, right?
They do.
They
Wait,
do?
what?
They do?
Nick, yes.
All states
What
have
is
their
wrong
own
with
I
you?
don't ever see
What
any...
is wrong with you?
Because
Yeah.
nobody flies them like Texas does.
Yeah.
That's probably why.
You'll see, like, the Florida flag, you will see at any
What does the
government...
Florida flag look like?
It's white with the red St. Andrew's cross with a seal in the center that's a native standing next to a little, like, riverbank. Oh, no, standing next to the coast. You can see a palm tree, and I think in the water...
That must have been a bitch in high school having to draw out your flag all the
water
time.
was a galleon, like one of Ponce de Leon's ships. And then around the seal it says, the seal of the great state of Florida.
Jesus Christ, that's a lot to fit on a flag.
Nick, most other flags are fairly
I
complicated.
said I prefaced that question with
You want
I'm,
an interesting flag?
I'm just ignorant to it.
Look up Ohio's flag. That one's pretty cool.
But like
It's not square.
if anyone here in chat has never been to Texas, you might understand why I'm asking this, because no state I've ever been to flies a flag like Texas flies a flag. No. It's
Well, technically, they're not legally allowed to.
Dude, that, like, Texas is weird.
Texas is legally the only state that is allowed to fly its flag at the same height as the United States flag.
Because
Every other state has to have it below.
They
for
fly-
9 years, we were a nation.
Yeah.
Right.
So,
Which...
And Texans, I don't really give a fuck, but some of the people who are maybe above like 80 really are proud of that fact.
yes.
Jesus Christ.
Yeah, Texas is a weird culture, man.
Yeah.
Like, I was amazed how many regional brands there are in Texas that are just as big as national brands, but they don't go outside of Texas.
Yeah.
Like, HEB is insane.
Yeah.
It's insane to me. And, like, they don't have those anywhere.
I remember
but here.
when Bernadette's cousin Precious was first visiting, and
Lone
she was
Star?
like, "What the fuck's Heb?"
Yeah.
Yes.
Harry E. Butts.
I mean, it's just... I mean, our taxes for corporations in Texas are just so cheap that, you know, it's cheaper for them to stay in state than go out of state and pay.
It'd be a fool
those-
not to.
I have
Extra
seen
taxes.
the California flag. I couldn't.
Well, you probably only know that from far out, from
Fallout.
Fallout.
Oh, there's HEBs in Mexico.
Really?
That's
Interesting.
what Carlos says.
Well, Well, I mean, Mexico is South Texas.
Sorry, we went off on a
And
bit
Texas
of a
is
tangent on
North
that
Mexico.
question.
Anyway, yeah, let's move on.
I don't know
Mr.
how
Green
I don't
Toast.
even know how we ended up there.
Mr. Green Toast. With Toys R Us closing down all of its stores, what fond memories do you have, of, if any, from there? For example, when I was a child, I would try to see how many Pokemon and Yu-Gi-Oh card packs I could stuff into my pockets without being caught. I only did this when I was young and dumb and didn't get an allowance. So hold on, I will say, as soon as you said, what memories do you have of Toys R Us, I have fond memories of trying to get my mom to take me to Toys R Us to buy Pokemon card booster packs.
Dude,
So many memories of that.
Dude, me and my friends used to go to a Toys R Us. The closest one was like an hour away, and we used to go there every Saturday for Pokemon League.
Yeah.
Man,
we play the fucking
I got my
card game.
Pokemon cards from a comic book store, and I went to Pokemon card tournaments at the mall. I never did anything Pokemon card related at Toys R Us that I can remember.
Man,
The
for
Pokemon
whatever
leagues
reason,
at Toys R Us were cool. They had like the badges and shit. Like you would keep a stamp book, and once you got enough victories, they'd give you like the fucking Earth badge. Or whatever.
I'll be honest. Like, I don't know why, but like the one thing I've been to Toys R Us plenty, especially when I was younger. But the one thing I remember from Toys R Us, the one thing that sticks out in my mind is being sent into Toys R Us because I wanted to buy Mortal Kombat. What was it? Deadly Alliance? Mortal Kombat Deadly Alliance on PS2. And I wanted to buy it, so my parents sent me. They didn't want to come in, so they sent me in the store to get it. And I was like, they're not going to sell it to me at the time. I went in and tried to buy it, and they, of course, wouldn't sell it to me. So I had to go back out to the parking lot, get my mom to come in, and then I had to explain to her what the fuck I was buying. It was that whole dog and pony show.
I remember there's the
it was
Toys R
Deadly
Us that's
Alliance.
closest to where I live in South Austin is in a shopping center called Brody Oaks, and that Toys R Us
That's the only one I've ever been to.
that Toys R Us has been there since longer than we've been alive.
Let me tell you this. I went to Toys R Us probably for the first time in like 15 years. That one.
Uh-huh.
A few months ago.
I went there a couple years
That
ago.
place is I remember the layout of the old Toys R Us, and I remember
They had the bike racks, and then they had the dedicated video game aisle.
I remember all
Like
that
the
shit.
video game aisle was kind of amazing.
It was a shell of its former self. It was like the most depressing.
Baby strollers and
Nick,
shit like that.
I
like,
think you're describing every Toys R Us.
Yeah,
yeah.
it was just, but like
Which
it was
is probably why they're
It was
closing.
just kind of depressing. I don't know. I didn't want to be there at all. But then again, maybe
So,
that's because I'm
similar to
30 years
SMG
old
Sterling,
and I'm in Toys R Us.
I will say Toys R Us is also where I got my first Game Boy. I still have it in that box right over there.
I
It's
probably got a
the-
lot more games and stuff when I was younger than I'm giving credit for.
I got my first bike from Toys R Us.
Toys R Us was pretty
Oh,
cool.
I remember going to Toys R Us to look at Ghostbusters stuff.
Nice.
Like that's where I found saw the proton packs for the first
Oh,
time.
I got so
and the
much G.I.
traps.
Joe stuff from
Dude,
there.
that was the place to get the really cool Transformers too.
Yeah.
But you couldn't get it like
The good
online.
Hasbro stuff, yeah.
Yeah.
All right, well, let's move on.
Rest in peace, Jeffrey Dre.
I was surprised they only had 3,000 employees.
That's it.
They've
Yeah.
been on the decline.
Yeah, I know they've been on the decline for a while.
Well, they had like only 200 stores, right?
Yeah, something like that. Sir Thomas Thipple asks, Brad asked this question many moons ago, and it was never and it never received a proper answer. What would win in a spur of the moment encounter? A bear with no legs or a shark out of water? The world's greatest minds have yet to settle this debate. It falls on you now. You must choose.
Bear with no legs.
Bear.
Bear with no legs. A shark
Because
can't-
it would be a technical victory because the shark would suffocate and die.
Yeah.
Shark can't survive out of water.
The bear doesn't have to do anything. The shark has to breathe, which it's physically incapable of doing.
Well, sharks can only breathe if water is passing over their gills.
right. So they're out of
So
water.
yeah, no, I agree. Yeah, the bear with no legs would win.
Yeah, that's a really simple
I mean,
question.
it's
I don't
just
know
a terrain question, really.
Yeah. Well, that is true. Are they in water?
You got to pick your battles.
Are they in water?
No, I believe he said the shark was on land, didn't he?
Shark out of water. Sorry, yeah.
And he doesn't say anything about the bear being in water. He just says the bear has no legs.
That would be
And we
awkward
have
if the
to
bear was in
imagine-
water and the shark was out of water.
So it comes down to, will the shark suffocate before the bear drowns?
Yeah.
And in that case, I don't know. That's close.
That's more of
Yeah.
a biological
That is
question. Than
close.
Well, is the bear like bobbing,
What?
or would it sink?
You know,
or,
I
like-
think
I mean, it can't.
sharks.
It can't hold. It can't.
Well, hold on. What time of the season is it? Has the bear been getting ready for hibernation, so it's full of fat, or is it just after
it might be
hibernated,
buoyant.
so it's buoyant,
Yeah, it might
or is
be
it
this way.
emaciated and post, as its poop plug or whatever
We
that
don't
bears
know.
have?
But hey, think about this too. Sharks.
That's
I
a thing.
think I'm gonna guess that sharks have smaller brains than bears,
Oh, maybe.
and maybe can survive with less oxygen.
Maybe.
for longer than a bear can. So the bear might drown before the shark suffocates on land.
Possibly.
I mean, the thing is though, like if you put them right next to each other and they're both like impotently thrashing, I think the shark might have it just because depending on what kind
sharks
of shark,
have better body movement.
depending on what kind of shark we're talking about, it's probably going to have a larger bite.
Let's just say great white to be.
You know?
Why not a bear with no legs versus a whale shark?
Whale shark.
I know they're not
the
technically
whale shark-
sharks.
Well, no. Not
How
only
about
that,
a
they're not
basking
aggressive.
shark?
They don't have any teeth. There's nothing for it to combat the bear with. The
It
bear
could
would
roll onto the bear.
What about a basking shark?
Win. They could.
a basking
What is a
shark?
basking shark?
It's like a
Aren't they only like this big?
no. They're enormous. They're like whale sharks,
Oh, are they?
but they have big, giant, gaping mouths.
Nick just wanted to say the word gaping.
I did want to say the word gaping.
All right, let's move on. I think we know the bear wins.
Bear. I give it to
Bear.
the bear.
Shadow Step asks, was wondering if any of you guys have ever had any serious injuries in your life so far, from stitches to broken bones. If so,
we've
how?
answered
We've
it.
answered
had-
this
and I don't
question
like this
so
question.
many times.
we
Yeah.
actually
I'm
answered
not
this question.
dragging this up.
We actually answered this question a few
It was
couple
recent.
months ago.
The short answer is no.
The short answer is a few of us have had some
Yes.
instances, and it grossed the other people out describing them. So,
I've never broken a bone.
I've also never broken a bone. So it's one of these two fuckers.
I mean, I've only broken like fingers and toes. I've never like broken a real bone, but I don't handle pain at all.
Like
so they've all been fucking horrible. My bad one, I think the one that was kind of bad. It wasn't a break, but it was like the closest I've ever come to like snapping my ankle in half. Like was when I put my foot in a storm drain.
Oh,
Why
yeah.
would you
Stepping
put your
off
foot
a
in the
curb.
storm drain?
Well, I didn't know it was there, and it just happened to be where my it was an abnormally
was there
large.
a clown offering you back your paper
It was
boat?
an abnormally large storm drain. I was stepping off with my full weight into the drain, so my foot was at about a 45-degree angle when my full weight like came down on my ankle, and that hurt so much that like I sat down immediately, like in the backseat of the car. Which the whole story was, we were in a parking lot, the car died, we were trying to get it going. I was standing on a curb in front of the car. I stepped off, twisted my ankle. It hurt so bad, I just like immediately hobbled over to the backseat and sat down, and then I passed out. And when I woke back up from passing out, I was like a little freaked out that I just passed out. So I like stood right up and was like, "Oh God, I gotta stay up." And I like pulled out a cigarette and I was lighting it. And as I was lighting it, like my vision just faded into me looking up at the stars with my roommate's like ghost white face staring down at me, like punching me in the face, like going, wake up, like as an ambulance was pulling up. Because like apparently what happened was I stood up, like the fucking blood rushed out of my head and I fainted again, and this time I smacked my head on the car door and then on the concrete as I was falling.
holy
This
fuck.
fucking guy.
So that was all
Jesus.
because we didn't have a DVD copy of Scrooged.
That's a good movie.
And then when we got home, we found out that AMC was playing a 3-day marathon of the movie because it was like a week before Christmas.
Niagara
All right,
Falls,
the funny
Frankie.
thing is, I think you started the beginning of that story the last time we had this question, but you never finished it.
Yeah.
So I'm really glad you actually answered the.
Okay.
Still, yeah, the worst part was that all happened in the Best Buy parking lot, and they didn't have Scrooged. So
Oh my
So it's all Best Buy's fault.
yeah.
Niagara
Should I call
Falls,
this
Oh no,
Frankie.
no! The worst part of that, I'm sorry. The worst part of that story was they called the ambulance, but the ambulance went to an abandoned Circuit City, like down the highway from the Best Buy for some stupid reason. Because I think the guy who called had told them that we were at Circuit City. So
I thought you were going to tell me like the worst part is the ambulance ran over your foot. Then.
That just made it better.
Oh God. Well,
there
I'm
was
gonna,
a
I'm gonna
train.
call this the Scrooged show, so you can say that something else came.
That was really
out
bad.
of-
I'm pretty sure that's like the third time I've told this story. on the podcast.
Probably.
Probably so, but I don't think you ever made it to the part about Scrooged, unless maybe you did.
Yeah,
I
that
don't
was the whole impetus of the.
All right, let's just move on. We got more
Fantastic.
questions. Next one from KNCito. Do you guys watch any competitions, sports, esports, eating contests, spelling bees, whatever? If so, what is the most exciting competition you've ever watched?
I don't watch many competitive things. I will say I spend a lot of time with Robin, and she loves watching like competitive cooking shows. So like Chopped,
I love Chopped.
and
Sorry, not Chopped. Cutthroat Kitchen.
yeah.
I love
I've watched
Cutthroat
Cutthroat Kitchen. Also, the Great British Baking Show is pretty good.
Bernadette likes that
I
show
thought
a
he was
lot.
talking about sports.
Well, he said esports, sports, eating contests, spelling bees, or
Competitions.
whatever. So yeah, competitions.
Yeah.
Dude, and one of the main reasons I love Cutthroat Kitchen is just fucking Alton Brown. It's fucking amazing in that.
He's really good.
He's cold though.
Yeah,
I love watching that show just pretending that he's a food-themed supervillain. He's just doing this all on his own because he wants to.
Yeah.
God, when is Good Eats coming back?
Right? They've been talking about it for a while.
If we're talking about sports, most engaging competitions I've ever seen is hockey live.
Hockey
When
gets
you're like
intense.
watching hockey live, it's amazing.
Oh yeah.
Speaking
of hockey, one of Bernadette's good friends, one of her bridesmaids, was at a hockey game here a week ago. She got super drunk and knocked a tooth out.
Nice.
Not playing hockey, watching hockey.
That's what happens with hockey.
It's all the same.
She just happened to be near hockey, so she lost
The
a
one
tooth.
time I've ever been to a
Fucking
hockey
intense.
game, like a huge brawl broke out on the ice. So like,
So any hockey game?
basically, yeah.
Dude, it was great during like the week and a half that the Olympics were going on because
Yeah.
everybody in the world was a curling fan during that. You just go to bars and like everyone's watching curling like super intense. Like
Yeah.
that's really fun. And then because of the whole Tanya Harding thing this year, like everyone was also really into ice skating this
Yeah.
year.
They were-
that was great.
Yeah,
that
that-
was great. Like sitting around like with a bunch of drunk dudes watching.
That was getting prime
Figure
placement
skating.
every single night.
And everyone's like, "Oh, is she gonna go for the triple axel?"
I mean, I'll occasionally watch a football game. I may watch some Wimbledon.
I
when
think
it's
that's the only
on.
football game I occasionally ever let myself watch is Super Bowl.
You'll never catch me
Occasionally.
watching any esports at all.
No,
I
I'm not
fucking hate shoutcasters.
I'm not a fan of esports.
I don't get the whole
I
esports
can't get
thing.
past them.
Can't do it. Can't do it.
I do watch a decent amount of college football, some decent amount of NFL, a little bit of baseball. Yeah, I do watch some sports.
Some of the AGDQ
Some of that's
speedrun
interesting, but-
competitions are fun.
Yeah.
Like whenever they usually close it out with a Metroid or a Super Metroid run, where it's like 4 people competing in a speed run of Super Metroid. That's usually fun to watch.
All right, still got a few more questions. Moving on. Zero Skies asks, if you suddenly got complete control over Konami to make one decision from then for them to follow, what would it be? Shut down everything.
I would it's basically asking if we could tell them to do one thing and they would do it.
Mhm.
I would tell them to sell all of their properties to other.
No,
companies.
just sell themselves entirely to a different publisher.
Give
No.
away all their properties.
No, I honestly, not only do I think it would be a good idea to get away from the people already involved in Konami completely, because by selling Konami, you're selling like the company, so like talent can go with it. I mean, I feel like selling the properties to other companies has not only the potential to keep those properties alive, but bring them back in new, interesting ways. Because a lot of those properties that we care about, Metal Gear Solid, Castlevania, Silent Hill being the 3 big ones, I think all 3 of those have been around long enough and have had enough sequels made by people at Konami that I think it would be beneficial to all of those franchises to be out there with somebody else at the creative wheel.
Yeah.
I think any one of those series could benefit from. Yeah, as long as you don't sell them all to Mercury Steam.
I would like to see what would happen if there was a Metal Gear game developed by a Western developer.
Yeah, I would absolutely love to see what would happen.
It'd probably be like Win-Back, but whatever.
Yeah, how is that the second time today that Win-Back has come
why?
up in conversation? Somebody was talking about that in Discord earlier.
I think Jaeger brought it up.
Oh my god, is that why you mentioned it?
Probably.
Because there's
No,
no
I
way
just-
the game Win-Back gets 2 mentions in the same day.
It's probably in the back of his head from earlier.
Yeah, maybe. I don't know.
All right.
Any other answers for that question?
That was mine, yeah. Chaitai asks, do you have a favorite cameo appearance of a video game character or celebrity in a game, such as Dante in SMT Nocturne? Is that Shin Megami Tensei?
Yeah, Shin Megami
Probably.
Nocturne? Or Burt Reynolds in Saints Row?
Oh man,
Cameos.
That's tough, yeah.
I feel like most cameos are in genres of games that I don't spend a lot of time with. A lot of times they're fighting games. Because obviously, like Geralt in Soul Calibur 6, I think
No, there's definitely...
that's a fairly common thing. I feel like there's probably some good
happens.
ones in Grand Theft Auto, maybe like some like.
Oh, I was just thinking about Grand Theft Auto 5 the other day, where what's his face from The Lost and the Damned?
Oh
from Grand Theft Auto 4
Ah,
shows up for like 5 minutes
then
in Grand Theft
dies.
Auto 5 and gets like horribly murdered.
Yeah.
by
Yeah.
Trevor.
Trevor.
Yeah. That was a good. That was a great scene, just because that's when you're
Forgot
first
about that.
introduced to Trevor.
Yeah.
and he's like talking about how he's gonna like fuck him
Yeah.
and stuff like that. And he's
Do
like,
I have to take my dick out again?
yeah, it's pretty. That was good. What was that guy's name? I forget now.
Oh, it was something stupid.
Yeah, I played it not too long ago. That's tough. There was what was that game?
That game.
Yeah.
you're gonna have to give me more than that.
God damn it.
Gary-
Oh no, yeah. Witcher, or like you like I think in Witcher 3 you run past like there's like a random bale of hay and there's like
Oh,
someone-
Assassin's Creed.
Yeah, there's like
dude
someone
laying
dead
next
laying
to
into it. That's
Yeah,
really good.
That was The Witcher 2. Actually,
Sorry, that was 2. Thank you, 2.
Yeah.
2
Gary
had that.
Coleman, Postal 2.
Gary Coleman posted.
oh man,
Oh God, that was a thing, wasn't it?
Yeah, you go to the mall during a Gary Coleman signing and like kill people. Like it's Postal. You
It's
just shoot
Postal.
everybody.
I don't know.
doesn't
That's
make
a
sense.
tough question. I need some more time to think.
Yeah, that's kind of on the spot.
I think we've had some pretty good answers though so
Yeah.
far.
All right, final question for the evening. Wingless. I'm not sure if this is going to be covered, but who will cry tears of tactical joy in night vision if Splinter Cell is announced in 2018? There was an Amazon Canada listing. Blah blah blah
We
blah.
did mention this.
While it may be total conjecture, who is going to drink hype aid with me and pray out to our almighty Chris Davis? Is this real? Michael Ironside returning as Sam Fisher or somebody else, but please God be in the game. Would make this game beyond amazing. Here's a supporting article. So yeah, we did actually talk about that earlier.
Yeah.
Quite a bit actually. Hope
We
that
can only hope.
Yep.
I've said it before. I just want another Splinter Cell. I don't care who's involved.
I'd play it.
Just fucking make another Splinter Cell because Blacklist was great. I think Blacklist was such a great game, despite Michael Ironside's absence. I think that
Yeah.
game stands on its own with or without Ironside. It would have been better, obviously, with him. It would have been nice, I'm sure. But like that game is, from a mechanical standpoint, it's super solid, and it didn't need Michael Ironside.
And one of the voice actors was Adam Jensen.
Really?
He played Andre Coben. He was in Conviction and Blacklist.
Yeah. Oh man, I forgot about Conviction.
Man, you need to.
I liked
You never got
Conviction.
to play the multiplayer though, and the multiplayer was so.
I played some of the multiplayer on the feed.
Yeah,
with
he
you.
casted it.
It was
Yeah,
only
y'all
like once.
casted it together.
Yeah, we
did?
We
Yeah,
did
I
a
remember
community
that.
night once, I think, where we played that. It was
Okay.
pretty fun.
They just fucking abandoned support for that just as soon as the game fucking dropped.
That doesn't necessarily surprise me, but I don't know.
Multiplayer is what I think like kept Splinter Cell on the map after the first game.
Well, we'll see what happens. I think 2018 is the year we see an announcement at least for a new Splinter Cell. I don't think it'll be out this year. I'd be willing to bet it's announced at E3 and it's released in the spring of 2019.
Man, motherfucking Pandora Tomorrow is the reason why I got broadband and got into online gaming.
Really?
Yeah. You scoff at me for putting like
There's no scoffing.
700
happening here.
hours in the
Oh,
Division,
yes,
things
I
like
scoff
that.
at that, yes.
I could not tell you how many hours I put into Splinter Cell multiplayer. It's a 4-digit number,
But it's
I know
also
that.
it's also,
That's a lot.
it's very.
a lot.
I don't
It
even.
was because it was fucking excellent.
It just depends on what kind of multiplayer game it is and if it has legs as far as the online community goes. We'll see what happens.
Just keep it the same old formula, please. For the love of God.
Well, here it is, E3. I think we're going to find out more about it. Anyways, that's all for questions.
Yep.
Thank you guys so much for your questions. As we mentioned before, $1 pledge per month to our Patreon campaign. You can ask us any question you want every single week. We'll answer as many as we can. Usually we get through all of them on the show. You also get 24-hour early access to the podcast with no ads tacked on there. So anyways, patreon.com/4player is where you can find our campaign, and we'd really appreciate your financial support. All right, let's wrap it up. 4-player minute starts now. We each say our hype, sweat, thank you, and fuck you of the week. Krispy or Nolan, one of y'all want to start us off?
I'll take it.
Krispy's going.
I am hyped for Far Cry 5.
Ooh,
It comes out next week.
It does.
Looks fucking cool. And of the games coming out next week, that is definitely the one that I am most excited about. Really looking forward to that. My Ooh, Sweat is... Yeah, I don't know. Far Cry 5, right? It's still an Ubisoft game, you know?
It is,
You
indeed.
know, and
Yeah.
I think we all understand the kind of baggage that bears. It could be a great game, but it's still going to be an Ubisoft game, which means there might be a lot of their traditional ickiness attached to it. And, you know, we don't know. It could also be a shitty game, so I'm really excited about it, but I have no like pretenses of like blinding hype going into it. My thank you for the week goes to Carlos for showing me a lot of really cool, fun games. We had a lot of fun on that broadcast the other day. You should check it out if you haven't seen it. I think there's some clips set aside that should get clipped out for YouTube, which were pretty... there's one that I think you might really enjoy, Chris Davis. And then there was... okay, and then what am I at? Fuck you. My fuck you of the week goes to the volcanic pistol from Red Dead Redemption. Fuck that gun. Fuck that gun. It's ugly. It's stupid. I fucking hate that gun.
I was using it for like 2 hours.
I fucking hate that gun!
Without even realizing I had switched to it.
Yeah. So stupid.
Interesting.
Cool. Thank you, Krispy. Nolan?
My 4-player minute starts now. My hype, unfortunately, is also for Far Cry 5. I didn't play Primal. I always meant to. Time. But
It's okay.
Yeah.
It's the best Far Cry. I'm sorry. I'm so sorry.
Primal is not the best.
It is
not
my
the
favorite.
best.
I get that you like it, but come on.
I will fight you.
My minute.
Nick.
Best characters.
I'm
fucking
excited for 5, and I've played it a bit at E3. I'm excited to kind of dig deeper into it. My sweat goes to Senran Kagura Peach Beach Splash. That game. I mean, I hope chat realizes I play it for them. Like, I take this sacrifice.
I'm not doing it because it makes me... I'm sorry.
I put sushi rolls in
hard
places.
for you.
It's not hard.
I'm
Yes,
not doing
on
it for
PC
all of the big...
laid.
What did you say? Giant anime tits?
He takes no joy, he whispers as he shoves the sushi roll in farther.
Nick, I said big ass anime titties.
That's what I thought you said.
TIDDIES.
And a fair amount of butts, too.
So my thank you is actually going to go to everybody who showed up on Sunday. I kind of did a Uncharted, Jesus. Red Dead stream kind of out of nowhere just because I was really feeling like playing it. And that's actually where I picked off. And ever since then, I've played a lot of that game. And I actually had a really good time with chat, reminiscing about the game. And, Sci-Fi showed up for a while, and we were talking about how we used to do online nights with Red Dead, and that was a lot of fun.
I'm sure we're going to do some more of those in
Oh,
2018.
I hope so.
Woo!
And then my fuck you. I didn't really have one this week. I mean, I could give another hype out to what we decided earlier today, which is Nick and myself's couch co-op stream of A Way Out next Friday. I'm pretty excited for that. So yeah.
I am too. And now that you said that, I'm changing my other hype.
Okay, cool.
Because I was also going to say that. I am also very hyped for this.
Yeah. That's it.
All right.
Cool.
My 4-player minute. My hype this week is actually for pretty much all the games coming out next week. I'm gonna pick up Attack on Titan 2.
I've heard that's really good.
It's getting good press. I'm gonna pick up Far Cry 5. I want to pick up A Way Out. I just need somebody to play with.
Sure you can find someone on the site.
I'm gonna be spending a lot of money next week. My first sweat goes to the Division 2. Like I tried to say from a long distance away from the mics last week, I'm cautiously optimistic about the game. But
you might be.
I've been thinking about it this week because I've been on break and I haven't had anything to think about really. And I don't know, man. I really hope they just stick to their original idea of what they wanted this franchise to be, and they don't try to go outlandish and take it elsewhere. Because
you don't want them to take risks.
I want them to take some moderate risks, but I don't want them to change the setting.
You don't want them to. You spent 400 hours in this world, and you don't want them to
fucking
change
guy.
the setting.
Nearly 700.
This fucking guy.
But because the original idea for this franchise was it was going to be entirely set in New York, and they were going to flesh out and build all of New York. And you know what? All they'd have is like tourist New York.
After
with
700 hours, I would be dying to get out of New York.
I want to get Central Park. I want to see Battery Park and see what they do with like the eastern side of the island. I want to see what they do. I want to. There were so many things that were in the fucking trailers that were never in the fucking game. I want to see what they do with this. If they end up thinking, I don't know,
Fair
man.
enough.
I'm hopeful, but I'm like, I don't know. It's Ubisoft, and lately they've been doing kind of shit.
Wait, what? Really? You think that?
They've been doing some things I don't agree with, like the timed events. Like I didn't even get to talk about. I completely forgot to talk about Rainbow Six Siege.
Oh yeah.
How I played their zombie co-op event thing.
Yeah.
And I did the Predator event in Ghost Recon a few months back. Like, I don't know, man. I don't like this like limited time focus on.
They've been doing that with
little
Assassin's Creed
bitty
Origins too. With the
I don't like that.
No, I agree. But they were with Assassin's Creed Origins, especially. They were doing it. It was limited time accessibility for these special boss fights.
Yeah.
But they were doing them like every 2 weeks or something.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, and they're doing that with Monster Hunter World with
Yeah.
Capcom. I mean, just I don't know. My second sweat goes to a personal issue I have. There's
that rash. I'm just kidding. I'm sorry.
No.
He's got that under control.
I've found out recently I may have to move because
Oh,
my
yeah.
job is. I don't want to go into details, but it looks like I may have to move across town,
Like north.
like Leander, from
Pretty
where
far
I
north.
live, which is very south Austin.
Oh,
So that's
Jesus.
like 37 miles, and I just re-upped my lease for another 12 months. So,
Oh, maybe.
I'm gonna have
that sucks. dude.
It super sucks. I won't even know where I'm actually going to be until the summer. So it's gonna super suck.
Ooh.
And my fuck you this week, I'm gonna give it to Cloud Imperium Games for Star Citizen because,
Ooh.
good God, I'm wearing a Star Citizen T-shirt right now. I have been hopeful beyond hopeful for this.
He's running
game
out of Kool-Aid.
for 5 years.
He's running out of
for
Kool-Aid.
5 fucking
But I
years.
get update emails every month.
Yeah.
Oh, they send
Production's
us.
going along smoothly. It seems
Yeah,
like.
the production. Yeah, and we get alphas and test builds and things like that. But where's the fucking Squadron 42 single player stuff that they originally pitched this fucking crowdfunding project on?
Yeah, I saw Gillian Anderson recording performance capture for that.
and
Surely it's-
Mark Hamill
That was
and like
years ago.
so many.
Gary
yeah.
Oldman.
That was years ago.
Gary Oldman, like
Gary Oldman's gonna be in that game.
yeah, they have
There's
an
a lot of
all-star.
famous people in that.
That's where all
cast.
their money went, Nick.
Yeah,
They got so much money, they're like, we got to do something with it.
like the last time they talked about the game, it was like 2016.
They
for
were
the
like, hey,
release
Gary
window.
Oldman, you want $1 million to fart in this microphone? And he was
Basically.
like, all right.
Like, what the fuck, guys? Just fucking start talking about that shit and just put the game out.
He's like the.
I don't care if we have to wait another 10 years for Star Citizen.
I care.
Just give me Squadron 42.
They're like the George R. R. Martin of video games.
Yeah.
They're
I'm so
basically,
sorry.
yes.
I'm so sorry.
Fucking hell.
Was that?
Alright, that's it. Go.
Thank you, Chris Davis. All right, I'm going to start with my thank you this week. It's actually 2 thank yous, but I'm going to count it as one. First, Nolan for streaming on Sunday. I was just kind of like not. I was tired, and I was like, I don't really feel like streaming tonight, but I usually stream on Sunday nights. And then I saw Nolan had randomly hopped on in the middle of the day and started playing Red Dead. I was like, okay, cool, we have someone streaming today. And then it was like getting close to the time where I was supposed to stream, and I was like, I'm sleepy, I don't really feel like it. And I looked at the stream and was like, oh, he's still going. Oh, thank God. So thank you for streaming.
Not a problem.
My other thank you goes to Chris Davis for selling me Monster Hunter World. Thank you very much.
And Titanfall 2.
And that game. Thank you.
And that game,
Well, yeah.
it deserves a little bit more than that game.
I mean, yeah, I've already
It's a good game.
I've already played that. I basically just gave you $5 extra for it.
yeah.
I was like, yeah, why not? I like that game. I'll take it for $5. Sure. Thank you for selling this to me. My sweat goes to Tomb Raider. Not necessarily Shadow of
movie
the
or the
Tomb
game?
Raider.
Okay, yeah.
The movie Tomb
Ah.
Raider, because I have tickets to see it tomorrow night. I don't know how this is gonna go. Robin's very excited. I'm just kind of gonna live vicariously through her. She's gonna enjoy it. I'm sure I'm gonna enjoy it because she's enjoying it. We're gonna be drinking, so whatever. And I like Alicia Vikander and I like Walter Goggins. So you know,
What else has she been in?
A lot of things.
She was in. What was the one she won the? Didn't she win the Oscar for?
Yeah. It wasn't the Danish Girl, was it?
Yeah.
I think it was the Danish Girl.
The Danish Girl
With Eddie Redmayne.
She was also in Jason Bourne.
Yep, she was in the new Jason Bourne.
She was in. There's another movie I saw with her recently, and I can't remember what it was. She's been in a lot of things. She's kind of a big name right now. Okay, she's in a lot of things.
Okay.
Ex Machina. She was the. Oh, you
Okay.
haven't seen Ex Machina. She was the fucking
was
robot.
Anomaly.
Wait, wasn't she in
was-
Assassin's Creed? Was that her? No, someone
No,
else, right?
no.
That's someone else.
The Man from U.N.C.L.E.
Oh, she wasn't
I
the man from
completely
U.N.C.L.E. I
forgot about that movie.
That's she did pretty good in that movie.
Anyways, so I'm going to see it tomorrow night. It's whatever. I'm gonna have a good time, be eating and drinking, watching Tomb Raider. It's not. No matter how you look at it, it'll be time well spent. My hype, I'm gonna give to Far Cry 5. I was also gonna mention A Way Out. I'm very excited for that stream. But Far Cry 5 is kind of, it's building. I am of the opinion that they haven't really made a bad Far Cry game since, well, maybe ever. I wasn't a big fan of Far Cry 1 and like the ones that came prior to 2. But since 2, I think they have been consistently getting better.
But you never played like the original Far Cry.
No, I've played it. I did not like it very much.
No, you played like you played like the Instincts or the Predator, the console releases. You didn't play like the original Crytek PC release.
Come on, Nick.
Probably not.
God.
No, I'm just saying it's a different beast.
No, I'm sure it is. But they started something with Far Cry 2. They kind of perfected it with Far Cry 3. And everything since then, I think, has just been a steady increase in quality. I have no doubt that I think Far Cry 5 will be a great game. I'm getting very excited for
Yeah.
it. Not to mention, I haven't played a first-person shooter in a while. So I think it's going to be kind of nice to just get back to that genre.
Faux show.
It's become a genre where I play one, and then I go a few months without playing one, and then I go back, and I'm like, this is
What's
nice.
this one you played?
What was the last one?
Wolfenstein?
Yeah, I guess Wolfenstein would have been it.
Okay.
And I've played things where you are in first person and you shoot things, like Resident Evil 7, but I don't really consider that a first person shooting necessarily, so you know what I mean. And my shame.
Got shame.
I'm going to do a shame this week.
Okay.
Remember I mentioned Supernatural last
I
week?
do.
What the fuck have I done?
How many have you watched?
What the fuck have I done? I did finish a season.
Mm-hmm.
There's 23 episodes in every
Jesus
season,
Christ.
and I have 3 more seasons to go before I'm completely caught up.
Have you carried
I
on
know.
My Wayward Son?
I like that you actually make that. He at least knows something about the show. It seems
My roommate loves the show.
it's a great show. It's.
But he doesn't binge it.
Well, I mean, I'm just binging it because I don't really have anything else that I'm really watching, and it's a great show to like watch when I go to the gym and just to get on like the treadmill. Or
And,
whatever,
and it's
just-
not that time of the year for your yearly Dexter binge.
No, it's not. Yeah, I don't know. I'm. It's been a while since I've watched the show, and I got back into it, and then I cranked through a whole season, and now I'm on to the next season. And I know that I have 3 more complete seasons to go before I've completely caught up on Netflix. It's Netflix's fault.
Yeah, let's
There's-
blame Netflix.
Put 13 fucking seasons on Netflix, and then I just happened to pick one episode, watch
How
it, and then
dare
I
they
liked it.
provide content for their subscribers?
I just happened to like jump back into it, and I picked an episode, and I finished the episode. And I was like, that's pretty good. I like that. And then I just like kept going, and then it just fucking snowballed.
Well, when you could be watching like Voltron, for
And
example,
just so everybody
or-
knows, if there are some Supernatural fans in chat, I do fully aware that the finale of season 5 would have been the perfect ending to that show.
Wait, has no one watched Jessica Jones yet?
I have not. I keep seeing people saying it's great, some people saying it's not great.
I didn't watch the first season, so
You should watch the first season.
First season's pretty
First
good.
season is pretty good.
it got spoiled for me.
I will
so.
watch that eventually, but I don't know. I'm really enjoying my time with Supernatural, so I'm gonna keep going with that for a while. I'm ashamed of it. I'm ashamed of it. But hey, whatever. Anyways, that's it for the show tonight, guys. Thank you so much to everyone who tuned in to watch us live. We record these every Thursday night at 8:30 p.m. Central Standard Time on 4pp.tv. So you can join us again next week for more video game discussion. Thank you guys for being here, of course. 4playernetwork.com is the website. Discord, please join us in Discord if you haven't.
Discord.gg/4player.
That's the one. Also, patreon.com/4players where you can support us in our campaign. And that's it. Thank you guys for watching / listening. We'll be back next week to talk about more nerd shit. Goodbye.
Bye, guys.
Goodbye.